Good evening, everyone. Hey, welcome again to another Hangout with Astropreneur. My name is Liam. For those of you who do not know me, but I believe all of you in chat do know who I am. My regulars are here. So let's say hi to everybody who's in chat, first of all. Say, hey, Sergio, how are you? You're the first in, so you got a big smiley face. Hey, non-fam. That's such a touching comment, non-fam. You give me a smiley face just for being me. Thank you so much. Let's see. Kieran Clark. Nan has no life. Just like the rest of us. Okay. Hey, Loopy Lou. Louise, how are you doing? Let's see who else is in there. Do you have all of your PPE now for your new printer and ready to go? Okay. Oh, because they got a resin printer. That's right. Yeah. Let's see who else is on. Kieran, Loopy. Matt said he'd be on later on. He said he won't be in yet, but he said he'll join us later on. So, for those of you who want to come in and join the conversation, the link is in the topic chat. There's a pinned link at the top of chat. If you click on that StreamYard link, you can come in and join the conversation. Please mute your YouTube before you click on that link, so when you come in and join, we don't have audio feedback. So the idea of this is just for makers to come in, hang out, chat, talk about our projects, talk about what we're doing, talk about what we'd like to do, talk about our machines, ask questions, basically chat with each other, help each other out, and see what happens. So everyone is welcome. The only requirements are we don't talk about politics, we don't talk about sex, and we don't and we try and keep it clean. We try and keep it family friendly. Even though we don't say we're family friendly, we try and keep it that way. We try to keep the content clean. Some of us are working. Well, I was working up until about 45 minutes ago when I quickly grabbed something to eat. So, and that's your usual excuse, Kieran. I'm sorry. You're using that way too often nowadays. So, again, if anyone wants to come in and join, clean. Yeah. What's funny about that? So if you want to come in and join the conversation, the link is at the top of chat. You can click on that link, come in and join. Hey, old curmudgeon, how are you? Thomas, Maker Viking, how are you? You can come in and join if you want. The link is at the top of chat. There's a pinned link there. Click on that, come in here. You're always welcome. Everyone's saying hi. So what has everybody been working on in the last week since we last hung out together? It was last week before this time last week when we hung out. Hey, Dwayne, how are you? So I've been busy with Toys for Tots. I think I'm around 455 or closing to 500 toys at the moment. So I've been really busy with that. It's tomorrow there. Okay. Video project taking longer than expected. Okay. Let's see what the makers say. Not too bad. How are you doing? I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. But you should consider coming in and hanging out with us if you're available. Oh, you've been working on on Fernrear. The Fernrear. That's your new printer. That's not only working. You're designing a new printer from scratch. That's cool. So if you want to come in and talk about it, Maker, Thomas, you're able to. You can spread the love and talk about what your plans are for the printer. So as I said, I've been busy with the Toys for Tots. I also have been asked to do some 3D printing for a what was it called? A sword and a few other pieces that I have to print. So I'm going to start doing that. The sword and stuff is going to take a long time because there's a lot of individual parts to it. But Toys for Tots will be keeping me really busy. I have 4 printers running right now for Toys for Tots only. One is doing smaller stuff, and then I have my IDEX printers. They're always busy. Yeah, just it's a tiny, mostly printed Core XY. You'll join it. Well, okay, and it's not so tiny. You can't. There's no such thing as a tiny Core XY, and especially I've seen some of your drawings. There's nothing small. There's nothing tiny about that printer. Thing's going to be a monster, but it's going to be fantastic. So, so what has everybody else been working on? Oh, we have somebody who just popped in. Hey, Jason, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm alive.
Well, that's an improvement.
It is, isn't it? Well, you either be alive or you're working. So,
Yeah, that's true.
so when I finish work, I'm alive. How's life?
Good. Getting better, feeling better, which is good. But then the air quality out here went to crap because all the fires, so that doesn't help. But
Yeah.
It's okay. Hey, non-fam. Hey, Maker Viking. Everybody.
So, how's the rat rig going?
Backwards.
Okay.
So I don't know if you were on the stream. So I was having some problems with it acting up, and I thought it may have been the SKR 1.2 board. So I did some testing, and what it seems to might have been was the SD card was failing. Okay.
Let me guess. It was either pausing or
yeah. It was getting it would just randomly kind of get stuck, and it's a quality SD card. It's not the one that came with it, and of course, my first instinct is it's got to be Big Tree Tech, not my SD card, right? So yeah,
I always go for the expensive card that's failing. Right?
I know. Well, they were about the same price.
Oh well, okay.
Yeah, but anyway, so I took a new SD card. I got tons of them, but I had brand new one, unsealed it, formatted it, reloaded it, and loaded in the new configuration of vCore OS, which is a custom version of Clipper. It's Clipper with all the things that you need for the rat rig already built in. All the configs and everything are in there. Yeah. Right, you just pick from it. Well, I was on an old one, and on an older version, and which was I was on like 1.1, and now it's to 1.2, but the printer configuration page is completely different. So I couldn't just copy and paste, but that wasn't really hard the way that Mikkel's got it configured now. So it was pretty quick to do that. But now I'm going back through the input shaping and pressure advance. Well, the input shaping's done. I'm doing PID right now.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, Matt.
How are you?
Hey, Stephen. How are you? And Olcamajin, I wouldn't say printing from SD is sus, because it's the best way to have fail on power for resume on power failure and so on is on the SD card, because as it prints, it writes status back to the SD card, so when it resumes, it can just read where it was and continue. Without that, it's really hard to do the resume on power. I know, because I had a power outage last night, and I lost two beds of prints because of it, because I turned off the fail on power on it.
Oh.
Yeah. But it's okay. It happens. They weren't that very long, but still, I've resumed them. They'll be done tonight. So I don't mind.
Yeah. So this runs from, so Clipper runs on the Pi, and there's just a firmware on the SKR board, but yeah, I mean, it happens. It could be anything. I mean, the belt could have snapped in half. Who knows? It could have been anything. Things break. Nothing lasts forever.
Yeah, Octoprint will not resume on power outage. There is a way of doing resume on power outage with Octoprint, but it's very convoluted, and you have to cross wire stuff back into your Pi using the GPIO boards. There is a way of doing it, but it's really messy. It's not a straightforward process to do. Yeah. Hey, Tom.
Hey, Lama.
He's calling you. Factoid men and friends.
Hey, no need for name calling.
Llama drama.
And I'm not talking about Factoid Man.
So it's up and running now.
I am PID tuning right now.
How many
as we
iterations are
speak.
you doing? 15?
What's that?
For PID, are you doing how many iterations are you doing?
It's a built-in configuration into Clipper. So whatever it runs, I don't know.
Oh, okay. I generally say you have to do more than 10. I prefer to do
Oh, you mean how many times do I do it?
To get a more accurate reading, you need to heat, cool multiple times.
I just do it once. With Duet runs a very well. This is not Duet. That is, and that one will be, but that runs a very sophisticated algorithm for PID tuning, especially for the nozzle, and it does do that. It runs 3 or 4 different cycles and does it in different speeds and frequencies and temperatures and up and down with the fan, without the fan. It can take like a half an hour to do it in Duet or more sometimes. This one does it pretty good, but it seems to be okay.
You need to read Llama's comment about PID tuning.
Peed in diapers tuning. Yes. So how's your process coming along? Have you achieved success yet, Tom? No, still peeing in the diaper?
That says a lot about Llama, doesn't it?
I thought we were all here grown men.
Physically, maybe. Hey Ben, how are you? So you haven't been doing any of the Toys for Tots stuff then?
Just on here, just on the Mark III.
Yeah.
Really. And it prints about 4 at a time, and because I've been messing with the rat rig, trying to get this one built. Got rid of the Ender 6.
Yep.
Okay. Moved this over and haven't played with it since it's been in the corner.
Yeah.
And
I've been
life, other things.
I've been busy doing. There's very few trains in it, so I started doing. Today I started. Well, that's this morning. It's It's almost done because there's only about 100 trains that are being printed because they're big and they take time. They take maybe 15 hours to do.
Wow, to do for one. 2 of them on the.
I'm doing them only with 20 or 30% infill because I want them to be strong because they're large. You don't want a big cavity inside them.
Right.
And they take about 15 or 16 hours to print. So would they do 2 of them in a printer? That's twice that amount of time, unless you're using, unless you can get real good high speeds with your Core XY. Mm-hmm. So I'm doing 2 at a time with the IDEX. It saves so much time.
Yeah.
So every 15 hours, I can knock 2 of them out.
What speed are you printing?
60 millimeters on a direct drive.
Well, what's your outer perimeter speed?
I'm doing 35 on the outer wall only because I want a clean outer wall.
Right.
And then everything else that is done at 60.
Okay. See, I had the rat rig up to 140 down the board and 50 on the first layer when it started acting up. So I got to get it. My slicer profile should still be fine. Mo just started peeing in diapers.
Well, the fact that he was wearing him in the first place before he learned how he's starting it, so
just go back to the basic skills, things you know.
But
and I was getting good. Let's see, this is a good representation.
Let me make you full screen so you can show. Go on.
Was printed. I think it was a 0.3. Yeah, so this is a 0.3 layer height, and this was printed at 140. Interior, exterior.
That's good.
Walls. and I think it was the only thing I see on it, and it's probably, if I can get it turned the right way, and cheap camera, is inside that hole at the top. You can see a little bit of sagging because there was no support in there or anything.
Well, it should need support. You should be able to bridge that if your cooling's fast high enough.
Yeah, there's just a tiny bit of a little. It's like one string came down in each hole for whatever reason, and I mean I can just knock it off with a pair of snips or something, and you wouldn't even know. Well, something goes in those holes anyway. It's not like you see them. Yeah. But that was the only thing wrong with it that I could find.
And as I said, you could probably fix that with better cooling. You could probably solve that.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be my limitation on this with the stock setup of a single 5015 and the fan duct that's on it is going to be the cooling limitation. I think past 140. It's an easy mod to do the way they've got the hot end set up. So if I wanted to go to a 60 millimeter or a 70 millimeter fan, single fan, it's just really reprinting the back piece that holds it and a different duct assembly. You don't have to take the hot end assembly apart because it just screws in through the back and then it attaches through the bottom. It's 4 screws.
Yeah.
I can do dual 5015s. It's a little more involved, a couple more pieces to print and throw on there, but one day.
You should get scans, or if you have the design files for the head, and get it to Dave Petzel and ask him to look at it for you. He might be able to come up with a good cooling system for it.
So it's all printed. So there's the carriage on the rail. Everything else is printed.
Well, you should. Yeah, then he'd be the man. But if you had the design files, he could.
Well, yeah, Ava's open source, so I've got all the step files, which aren't really like source files, but probably the Fusion files are on there too. I don't know. I haven't looked. I just looked at the step files for assembly, but the STLs are there, and
you should ask him. He might be able to come up with a good design for a nice.
Oh no, there are better solutions already available.
Oh, okay.
It's just I don't want to do that right now.
Okay.
I'm fine. It was printing good at 140. I'm good at leave it alone. Work on that one. Get it going. I have a Voron 2.4 coming. When that gets here, get that up and running. Then I'll go back, one at a time and bring them up. At least that's the plan in my head right now.
The 2.4 is a 350, isn't it, bed?
There's a 250, a 300, and a 350, but I got the 350, yeah.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, so it'll be a little bit bigger than the Daedalus. That one's 320 by 310 or 310 by 3 something.
So we can expect you then to fine tune your Voron to do 1,000 millimeters a second. You showed the video last week. Remember?
Oh, geez. That was a rat rig.
Oh no! No, the Voron at 1,000 millimeters a second printing.
Yeah, that's a rat rig too. That Mikhail's has his video posted up going at 1,000 millimeters.
I didn't see the rat rig one. I saw the Voron one.
Yep. He's got it running at 1,000. I was like, I looked at it, and I looked at it again. It's like, yep, that's 1,000.
That's not sped up.
Yeah, but all what they're doing is printing white circles or white squares.
No, squares and stuff. So it's accelerating, slowing down, changing direction.
I think he was printing a Benchy. Let me look real quick.
Yeah, find it and show it. I know, but I said the Voron one was actually, when you look at it first, you think it's actually a time lapse, a sped up time lapse. It's moving so fast. So it's crazy. But that's where they have to go, to make 3D printing more and more useful. They need to be able to print good quality at high speed.
Well, we need better filament. We need better heating, better cooling. You need a lot of things to make that happen because plastic is plastic, and not every roll of Sunlu can print 1,000 millimeters a second. You need in some cases they're buying from a specific manufacturer because of its properties to print that fast. Like ABS can print a lot faster than PLA.
Yeah.
But there's other constraints on that too if your setup isn't done well enough for it. So,
and you have to have enclosures for that type of material, and you have all this other requirements around it.
Yep, right here, 400 millimeter V-Core 3, printing at 1,000 millimeters a second. That's 40 millimeters cubed, close to continuously, barely keeping up at 290 degrees with eSun ABS, plus probably needs some more extrusion tension, maybe. So,
you want to share it? Show it?
Oh yeah, I can do that. Let me get this to enlarge. Ooh, we'll just cut the sound off of it. Well, maybe I'll leave the sound on. Sounds cool. Share screen window. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, this one. Yes. Allow. Is it working?
There you go. Yeah.
Okay. So let me go back to it. There we go. Right here, 400 millimeter V-Core. And we'll replay the video, make it.
Like this is what our printers should be printing at today.
Yes.
All printers, to be
Yes.
functional, to be useful, to complete stuff at a reasonable time frame. Yeah. Printers need to be doing this nowadays.
Yeah. So he's doing. I mean, he's got a few videos out there like that. That where he's incrementally getting faster and faster, different materials, and I think he's at a 5 minute and 1 second benchy.
Oh.
That's phenomenal. That comes out looking like your 3 hour benchy. Yeah.
No, that's that's where we need to be. We need to be able to print at such speeds because 3D printing is great. It's a slow process.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very slow process, especially if you want fine detail.
Yeah.
But being able to print high, very detailed, fine prints at that speed. Now 3D printing has gone from something I'm going to play with to hell yes, I can do stuff quickly and make money out of this because I'm not waiting 5 weeks for something to finish.
Right.
Right? It's not going to take me 2 weeks of running this continuously. Why can't I print it within my normal day? Why can't I start a big print in the morning and come home in the evening, or let it run all day, and then at the end of the evening pop my part off and hit go and start the next one. So every day I can run 2 parts off.
Yeah.
Like these domes are 9 days.
Wow.
If I can do that at that speed, I can have it done within 24 hours or less.
Wow.
That's what we need. Like that's where 3D printing needs to go.
Weird. I mean, so this dome that I didn't use.
No, this is different. This is mostly solid.
Oh, okay.
It has to be a lot of infill because you know what these are, right?
Moon bases.
No.
Half a planet.
Star system.
It's tactile. It's designed for the blind to explore the constellations.
Okay.
So it's going to be
I can see not being able to go fast on.
It needs to be fairly sturdy as well, so the infill is high. But if I could do this at that speed, I could knock one of these out a day or less.
It would be really, really hard to do those the tactile part at those speeds, I would think.
I know, but you can just slow down the outer wall. That's all you have to do.
That kills a lot of time, though. I mean,
but not if it's only one pass on the outer wall and everything else is high speed. You only need to do the outer wall slow to get the fine detail, and then everything inside it can be fast.
It's still it still eats up a lot of time, just like your retractions. I mean, if you cut your retractions in half, you can cut hours off a print, depending on how big it is.
Retractions or Z-hop.
Z-hop as well. Same thing with it slowing down to a half or a third of what your rest of your printing speed, that acceleration, deceleration, the time it takes to print around. If it could do it all at the same speed, that would be great.
Yeah, Justin, I do not agree with you about it's primarily used for prototyping. A lot of places are using it now for production parts.
Yeah.
It's heavily used for full production parts, either 3D printing with plastics or even with metals. It's for full production of parts. There's whole industries all about 3D printing for production, for final product parts.
Yeah, they're getting faster. They're getting better. What we need is like, we can get all the data and testing data off our hot ends and our extruders and off our cooling solutions and all these different parts.
Hey, Justin.
Why can't we have a program to figure out how it's going to work, how fast it can go? If you've got, filament X, extruder X, hot end X, are you enclosed? Are you on this style or this type of printer? Do you have, it just seems like there should be more integration for the software to calculate some of this stuff a little better than us having to trial and error tune, know?
Yeah. And what you're saying there, Lama, about stuff failing, you know what? If you can print that fast and your print fails, who cares? You can kick off another print, right? Because it's done faster. Now, if you break the hardware, well, that's why you always have spares. Who's got one printer? Come on, I have 4 of them out right now, outside right now, printing toys. So, and that's only a small section. So, that's why you always have more than one. And if you're doing it in a production environment, especially in the production environment, you're going to have multiples of the same because you want to have spare parts that will go into all of them.
Yep.
What you're going to do. Like if I was doing full production, I'd have 10 of the same or 15 of the same machine printing all the time. If something fail, I have 5 or 6 of each spare part that I can take out a part and plug it into it and be done. Or I have one that I cannibalize to use for something else, an older version of it. That's how you do it.
Yeah, Ben. Those commercial printers are expensive, but that technology,
it's just
like everything else, will trickle down to the consumer at some point.
Yeah,
and it'll get better. Or that's coming from one side. From the other side, you've got the folks that are tinkering and coming up with solutions to match or to mirror what is in the production side,
or even exceed.
Right. So from both ends, us in the middle that are printing rockets and boats and whatever, will eventually, we're going to get that stuff. We're never going to be the cutting bleeding edge unless you're the guy on that bleeding edge of what's happening. But if you're happy printing, we're still going to get that stuff. It just takes time.
Yeah.
Well, and the other part and the first place that'll happen is with you. So there'll be a solution available. You'll have to do it. It'll be years before a company like Creality or Anycubic or any of them to implement that, because once they develop a product, they start looking at ways to cut the costs even further and sell it to you at the same price. They're not looking to improve it. Hence the product lineup of Creality, where every printer is the same as the other printer with a new switch or a new button or a new this or a new that. But if you just stand back and look at it, it's the same printer. It's the same carriage. It's the same extrusion. It's the same setup. It's the same bed slinger. It's a single bed. They're doing the same thing over and over and over as they can translate those cost savings into a new printer. Right.
Yeah, but now, in saying that, the Ender 7, which Creality has recently released, prints fast at about 150 is what they're saying.
It's an Ender 6 with a horrible top on it.
I know, and they've already said that they are working towards higher speeds of 300 or so millimeters a second, high print quality.
They already had the Ender 6 supposedly printing at 300 millimeters a second. They did it on their live stream. Now the problem was, and they got busted on this, was that their firmware the Marlin firmware had limitations in their stock firmware.
Yeah.
So even though they were showing you on the, that they were moving it up to 300% of 100, which is not from 100 to 300, right? Exactly. Yeah. But it's not printing at 300 millimeters a second. They say things that aren't true. So everybody's working on their printer printing at I'm working on my printer printing at 300. I'll probably get there the same time Creality does. If maybe not before. Maybe before. Because at least I know it's doable on this design. So
you run a little hot. You can, if you like.
Yes.
The limitation really is how much material you could push through the nozzle at what speed. So
I mean, you have to have
sorry. No, go ahead.
You must have closed step loopers. Stepper drivers, right?
No, you don't need closed loop steppers for that. What you do, closed loop steppers only allow you to resume from where the head was actually. Where if you get a head had a collision and actually suddenly change direction,
it can try to get you back. Yeah, it's not 100%. It does.
Yeah, this is what I mean.
I've seen it work. I've seen it
fail. What I'm saying, it's not 100% all the time. Yeah, it's good.
I mean, if it goes 1,000 millimeters a second, then I think you should have something like this, because even if it's slightly off, it can correct itself again.
Well, yes and no. Okay, closed loop closed loop steppers. That's right. So they have when you have a big change, they can sense the difference and it can fix itself if you set up the firmware to do so.
Yeah.
If it's a small change, like it was bumped and it was off by 2 millimeters or 5 millimeters, it won't sense that. It'll sense if you like. I've seen one actually working where it was printing, and the guy grabbed the X carriage and pulled it across all the way to the opposite side of the X carriage. And when the printer all it did was it homed X and Y, went back and started printing and continued printing from where it last was. Mm-hmm. So it's sudden large changes it works on. It doesn't work for very small changes. So if you lose 5 or 10 millimeters here and there, it probably won't sense that. But if it hits something and gets jammed, or if someone grabs it, like a child walks into the room and gets in a tantrum and says, "Daddy won't talk to me," and pulls the print head across to the X-axis, it will correct itself for stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Right?
Now, if it hits your print and your print breaks or flies off, it can't fix that.
Yeah, no.
No printer can fix that. But if it loses a step,
a lot of steps.
It won't, or a lot of steps, because it needs to sense a big enough phase change in the positioning for it to come back, for it to say, "Oh, I'm off."
Yeah.
Because there's with every 3D printer, there's tolerances built into everything, because nothing your extrusions are never perfect, your rails are never perfect, your screws aren't perfect. Nothing in it is perfect. So it has to have tolerances built into everything in the software and the firmware for it to be able to print successfully, when we look at it, to come out successfully. So those things are tolerances that every component has to consider as well. So a small little change, like you were saying, not so much. Yeah.
Now, the other thing you must remember as well about printing that fast, you also have to take into account the momentum of the head, because that introduces ringing, right? Because the faster you go, the more energy it takes. Yeah, sure. The faster you go, the more energy it takes to accelerate and to slow down, and that creates vibration and causes ringing in your prints, right? So, direct drives, it's really easy to introduce introduce ringing with direct drives at speed. A Bowden style has a lighter head, so it becomes there's less chance of ringing, but there's none. It doesn't eliminate it. So you have to take all that into account. And even though you've set your printer running at 150 millimeters a second, you must also remember it never really runs at that speed. On rare occasions as well, because it's going from 0, accelerating up to maximum speed, but it also has to accelerate down on the other side. So no matter what your acceleration rate is, you'll still never reach the 150 millimeters. You get close to it, but you actually won't hit 150 unless you're going in a really long straight run. That's when and only then do you reach that acceleration speeds. So even though you have, like old what you were saying there, and input shaping helps, yes. And also, I don't think. I bet you if you really measured its real speed, I bet you're not hitting that speed. You might be getting close to it. You're ramping up to it and down from it, but you're never reaching that 150 unless it's over a long distance. It takes an awful lot to accelerate that speed and not really mess up your print.
Yeah.
So I don't think even though you're saying 150, I doubt you're really reaching. If you put a speedometer on it and to measure the speed, a laser, I bet you're not reaching 150. You're probably reaching 100, maybe 120 at most, because unless your bed is 500 or 600 millimeters and you have time to accelerate and then decelerate, it's only in the very center of that print is that we are even coming close to that speed.
Yep.
Because you're hitting what, 120 you said on your printer?
Me?
120, yeah, 120, 130 you hit?
Sliced at 140, just kind of all the way down the board. So is it actually hitting 140? I don't know. I didn't clock it, and
yeah, you need an accelerometer,
and it depends on the. Well, I've got an accelerometer on it, but it just really depends on the print too. So, from here to here, there's no way it could get up to 150 or 140 and slow down and still make that corner. There's just no way. The machine would be.
Agreed.
Yeah, it would rip itself apart.
Over 500 millimeters, possibly.
If I was going corner to corner, I might hit it pretty well.
In the center spot only, though.
Well, it depends. It doesn't start to slow down in the center. It'll start to slow down a little bit further out. But that's where you probably see it the most.
I didn't mean the dead center. I mean the section in the center. Yeah.
Right, that center section where because it has to get up to it, it has to get down to it. But it's still faster than 60.
Yeah, I agree.
Setting it at 60, so it's fast enough.
The firmware does compensate for extrusion for speed. Yes, it does. That's part of the slicing process. But pressure advance makes a big difference especially on those corners.
Yes,
and so on. It makes a huge difference to get good clean corners. But you'd have to put an accelerometer or something like that on it to actually measure its actual motion speed. Mm. Even with nothing on the bed, trying to move from here to here at 150 at that speed, you'll probably find you might find a tiny little piece in the center where you're doing on an Ender 3. On Jason's printer, you might get 2 or 3 inches in the center of the bed where you're actually reaching that speed before it has to start slowing down again. Because otherwise you're introducing so much vibration, and chances are you'll probably snap belts and everything trying to stop it that fast.
And that's also what, like that video clip that I showed, that's why that model didn't have square corners.
Yeah.
It slows it down a
somewhat.
lot.
Yeah, it slows down a lot, but it spins around and speeds up again.
Right. It's going to take a curve faster than it's going to take a corner.
Yeah. So if you print everything, if you make every single design you ever do with nice, slow, curved corners, you might be able to reach close to that speed on a regular basis. I would say.
Pressure advance. Yeah, well, pressure advance is Clipper and almost Duet now.
Yeah.
Can I show you guys my lamp? Hold on a second. Let me unplug it. The other one.
Give it a try. That's nice.
Yeah, different setting, twice the speed. We're talking about speed. I printed twice, still 35, but I increased the layer height.
To how much?
By 1 mil.
A whole millimeter?
Mil? Well, now
two. Sorry, by 2. I have it running on 0.1 mil.
Okay.
Now I have it running on 0.2 mil.
Oh, 0.2
okay,
millimeter.
0.01.
Yeah,
okay, you increased by 0.01.
Sorry.
Like, wow.
because let's see here.
So I cut down by half.
Well, that's good. Yeah, you'll. It all depends on the fine detail. You know, at 0.2, you're still getting good detail. Anything thicker than that, you will see the layer lines. They'll start showing up clearly.
It depends all on the picture, like low resolution, like this picture.
You can get away with more, yeah.
No. Actually, this one I get less quality as if I have a high resolution picture like this one. Because I tried to have different resolutions of pictures on there to see what resolution I roughly have to have as in the picture, and then I test print them like this and find out which picture is good to print.
Yeah. So, but you're printing in straight lines. So your acceleration, because of the size, it has a limitation about how fast you can speed up and slow down. So there are physical limitations not only in size, but based on the mass of the print head you're moving, you have physics goes against you, right? Because you can't beat it. You have to find ways to optimize it, but you can't beat it.
Well, it's space too. So I mean, think about it like you're driving your car. Yeah. If you're in your car and you park it and you need to pull it up 1 foot, you're not going to do that at 1,000 kilometers an hour. You'll never get up to that speed, even though your car could.
What car are you driving?
I'm just
1,000 kilometers an hour.
I just threw out a number.
Rockets on?
I know.
But you know what I mean? You'll never get to that number in that amount of space for lots of reasons. And it's the same thing on a printer. It just can't do it in every space of distance. It can do it over this much distance, but it can't do it over this much distance. There's just no way for it to do it. It's not running at the speed of light. It just can't go from here to here without you seeing it. It just can't. There's friction.
That would be pretty amazing.
Sorry, Ben. A Tesla will out accelerate a Porsche 911. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I just watched a Porsche or a Tesla Plaid kill what is it? The Charger Hellcat something, had like 900 horsepower or whatever, and it just flat out
forgot to feed the horses.
I guess. Feed the cats.
Well, see, the difference is electric cars has the ability to accelerate really fast because it's instant torque. Where you do not have that with a gas engine, but over distance, the gas engine will overtake it. But on a short run,
it beat it in the quarter. It shamed it. Totally shamed it in the quarter mile. In the half mile, it beat it by over a second. It was almost a second and a half.
Yeah, but if you go longer distance, the other car, the gas car, because it has.
Well, that engine will probably run out of gas at the end of a mile at those speeds.
Yeah, you need to have a gas tank behind you. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think they said it was like. I forgot what they said. It was like 8 or 9 liters or something. The motor was souped up to use, and that's just a lot of gas.
And I thought my truck was a gas guzzler.
Right?
Yeah, compared to this, it's an old I don't know what a mini micro or whatever you call them. What's the smart car? In comparison, my truck is a smart car in gas consumption in comparison.
Actually, those smart cars do not get good gas mileage. You can get better gas mileage out of a Toyota Corolla than you can out of a smart car. They're horrible.
I don't know. I've never driven one.
They were just called that for marketing, but they weren't really efficient in any way.
Well, they were designed. Well, yeah, they're designed by Mercedes. They're a Mercedes car, and they're designed. The idea of them was so you can park. We can reverse in with the back of the car against the curb and consume no more space than an average car. So if you want to pull out, you just drive straight out. Whereas everyone else is a parallel park. You don't have to parallel park in a smart car. You don't. You actually just pull straight in and pull straight out from the curb because you're not consuming more space.
Until you get an accident, then you don't consume any more space than an apple.
No, they have a crumple zone. Starts at the front bumper and ends at the back bumper.
Ends at the back bumper.
Actually, they are very sturdy. They have passed all. They have exceeded all of the safety tests. They are built like
every car does nowadays. It's like they need to revamp their star rating because every car hits 5 stars. Really? Yeah. But then why do so many people die in car accidents? Then let's make them a little better. But you can't because the mandates for killing improving the gas mileage, you got to make it all out of plastic or some lighter metal, and you got to figure out what you do in between until everybody goes electric or whatever. It's just fine. I don't care either way, but
that's if your battery goes. But their Tesla tells you when your battery, and it finds a local charging station. It tells you, like, so does my friend of mine has got the new the Mach-E. What is it called? From what is it? The Ford electric vehicle?
I don't know. I don't really keep up with them or anything.
What's it called? It was their muscle car, and they came out with an electric version.
The Mustang?
The Mustang Mach-E.
Oh, okay.
So the Mustang E, he's got one of those, and it tells you where your next charging spot is. It gives you, and it tells you how long to get there, and it even gives you warnings on the screen. And so does the Tesla. They all say, you need to charge. This is where you need to go. And like if you don't go, pull into the spot, and if it doesn't find the spot nearby, it will tell you pull over and find somewhere to plug in. So and you can trickle charge it off any 24-volt outlet if you needed to. So
24-volt, it doesn't take that low.
Oh, not 24-volt. The 110. Sorry, the 110 or 220.
You can run an extension cord to it. Yeah.
I was thinking 240. I was thinking 240 in my head, and I cut out to 0 for some reason. So it'll run after house charge, but you don't have to have a special charger. But you can slowly trickle charge it if you need to, off the normal socket on the wall. But it'll only draw something like 16 amps is all it'll draw. It'll take half what the outlet allows. So it tests the outlet. This car is smart enough, both of them are smart enough, is it tests the outlet and draws half what it provides. That's what they do. But they work like so. You can always get enough charge to get somewhere.
Yeah. There's no end of cars on the side of the road with a diesel tow truck carrying a can of gas to fill that car because the driver was the reason it ran out of fuel. Just like in an electric vehicle, whatever you took there, whether you took a diesel powered truck to take a diesel power or a gas powered truck to take a diesel powered generator so you can charge an electric, either way, it's the driver's fault, not the car.
Actually, if you call AAA, they will actually charge you. They will charge you.
Yeah.
They'll give you a charge to get you where you need to be.
Yeah.
So, what did you say here?
So many things in our lives run off of electricity, and it's like many people are against the cars running off electricity. I don't get it. I mean, run your stove off of a gas generator in your garage, or run your 3D printer off a generator in your closet. See how great that works out.
just before here, I was on Zach's stream because he was talking with John, Tripod. So I was actually I wasn't on the stream. I was in chat. And hey, John.
Oh no,
oh,
Zach is here as well.
This guy better not fart. Okay.
Hey, I don't. No, you don't want him to drop one on top of your head. So see, Zach is following you in here as well.
Oh,
Zach is in chat.
Yeah, that guy needs to go to bed. It's like 4 a.m. where he lives, man.
No, it's not that late. What time is it there, Matt?
Let me see.
It's like
1 o'clock almost.
Oh, so it's 2 a.m. No, he's in the same time zone. He's in the Netherlands. So he's still the same time zone as Matt. Yeah, so it's 1 a.m. for him. Well, Zach, if you want to come in, if you have time, I know it's late for you, but if you want to come in and say hi, at the very top is
I told him I gotta spread the love. I'm a
so
YouTube,
you can click on that link and come in and join if you want. Oh, it's almost 2 for you. Okay. Well, it's up to you. If you want to join, there's a link up there, pinned in chat. Just click on it and come in and join us. Was good to see you on, Zach. I know it's late because he was chatting with you, and I was in chat with you, and then I decided I had to jump. I didn't have a choice.
I think he had enough of tripod tonight.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris, how are you?
Yeah, kicked me out.
Oh, he did?
Said I needed to shower or something. It was really mean to me.
That's too much information. I mean,
like, wow, you can smell it all the way there in the Netherlands? Man.
Well, we all know tripod showers once a year, whether he needs it or not.
Oh, I never.
I thought once a millennium or something like that.
Millennium. Wow.
Oh man.
You know what's really bad in our house is when the guy with one leg could shower and everything and get ready before anyone else.
Well, you have less to do.
You too.
That's
Zach.
what I tell them. I have less body parts to wash.
That's funny. Oh, we have a special guest.
But you have less.
Zach is here
no.
in the middle of the night.
He is so tired. He looks high.
Zach is back,
Hey,
How are you,
I'm
man?
tired.
but I'm still awake.
Oh, no,
Just
but
about.
now,
Right.
at least,
Are you not working tomorrow?
Oh yeah, sure.
You're a
That's-
glutton for punishment.
Last week I did almost a marathon every day to 2 or 3 o'clock in the night. So yeah.
Oh, Matt, you're being called out.
Oh, thanks, babe. Thanks.
Matt's being called out by
No.
by his better half.
I take every day a bath. I don't take
bath
showers. Yeah.
in the same water.
Yeah. I tried to make soup and, try to sell it to the
Body soup.
customer. And yeah. I put vegetables in,
But it didn't drown out the soapy taste.
I don't
Yeah, I
use
have to
soap.
ask. Zach, when are you going to get
kidding,
this
guys.
boron done?
Please don't take me seriously on that.
Someday.
It's the pocket-sized one, right?
The pocket size. The Voron
I say
Zero.
that because it's about this big. So come on, man.
I agree with you, Liam. Small printer.
Don't ever agree with
So-
Liam.
So hard can it not be, right? Come on, you will build in 1 hour or maybe 5 hours or.
Just ask Liam when he's going to get the tracks put on his telescope. There you go. You'll have your Voron done before then.
That's planned. Well, he's going to have.
Well,
it
he
before
plans
I
on
even designed
finishing
it.
that too.
Well, I haven't even designed it, so yeah. Given that he's got.
I never heard of it. Jason.
You didn't even start it yet.
No, I haven't actually designed it.
Well, when are you going to have it done,
I would
Liam?
have been
Come
finished
on.
in a day.
I'll be
That's
done.
what
It'll
people
be
do.
done by next year for certain.
But
Give myself a year.
But yeah, next
you
year.
know-
So you're
Wait,
talking
you said it'll be done
16
by
months.
next year, and then you said you're going to give yourself a year. So either that's January or that's the end of August.
That's
End
what
of
I'm
August.
saying. It could be technically 16 months. It could be 16 months, Jason.
It could. Well, Liam. He's probably going to come up with some astrophysics calendar science thing on how one planet was 2 degrees off, and it really gives him 36 months because he's going off of that year.
Yeah, you never said which
Something.
planet.
No, wait now. I'm using Pluto or Jupiter's years. So I got 12 years of Earth to
He's
do
got
it.
12 years. See, I told you. And he's using Jupiter's years, but he's talking Uranus. So
through it.
And at least now Zachary's below it.
Yeah, that could go him now. Yeah. We all know he's full of crap, anyways. All right.
right. Oh, I should have had
Not
broccoli.
you, Zach.
for
I'm
lunch.
talking about the guy above you.
But why it taking so long? It's like dessert. Dessert, you're not going to eat very fast. You do it very slowly to enjoy in this case, the build. So,
Yeah, I agree.
Not if somebody wants to take your dessert.
Wow. Does Loopy Lou take your desserts from you?
All the time.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, see, she has to. He's on a diet. He has to look good for when they get married. I suppose he has to look good at least once in his life. So
Well, he's got to change the water in the bath.
You got a lot of work, man.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So what time do you start working, Zach?
Unofficially, 9:30. Sorry, 8:30.
Okay, and in reality, noon.
No. It's office of being at the office. So I
Oh,
really
you're
need
in
to
the
go.
office?
Yeah.
I haven't been I haven't worked in
I'll
an
be right
office
back.
in 10 years. where you see me sitting right now, my office.
Cool.
Yeah, I work out of home, so I haven't had. I think even the company I work for the last 10 years, I've been to the office with them probably 4 times in the last 10 years.
Okay, cool.
I
I'm
can't
working
do that. A
from
guy with one leg
the.
needs to move around.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
yeah,
he'll
we
be
need to switch
800
jobs.
Yeah, I'm
Sorry.
having also home office. 3 from the 5 days, 2 days in the office and 3 days at home.
Oh,
So-
okay.
This is my office as well.
Yeah, it's having a home office is nice. You know, there's good and bad. The good is, you have the ability to you can get stuff done because you don't get bothered as much. The bad is when you're at home, stuff at home has to be done too, and you get bothered to get that done. So
It's
More
so
distractions
horrible
as well.
here that it's like when I was in the office, people would wait by my desk. I have that at home now, but it's my family at my desk.
Yeah.
I'm at work, and then if I close the door, then I fry in the garage, so I always have to have it open.
yeah, so it's there's good and bad about being about the home office, but it's mostly good. I don't have to see my boss every day. I talk to my boss once a week. For 30 minutes once a week. I talk to my boss. That's it. I'm pretty much left to do whatever I have to get done. So I don't get. We're pretty much completely self-sufficient in what we do. I know other teams are not that lucky, but where I am lucky enough to have a lot of leeway about what I get done and when I get stuff done. You know.
Oh, cool.
You work in IT, don't you, Zach?
Me?
No, Zach.
Oh,
Sorry?
You're in IT, Zach, aren't you?
No.
No, I thought you were.
No. Looks like
that's
it, but no.
I am.
Yeah, I know you are, John. And
He's a
Jason
spy.
works with the tech in the airport for the radar systems and stuff, isn't it?
I don't do radar, but I do. I could. That's not
Your area.
the radar group. Like there. So we're split into 3 groups. So radar does, and this is how our facility is. Some are different. Are the guys? They're the folks that work on radar. They do radar and what we call automation. Then there's the environmental folks that take care of the building and the facilities and the power and all that kind of stuff. And then I'm in navigation communication. So it's ILS, VOR, ground to ground, air to ground communications.
Yeah.
We don't use it, but it could be. We don't use it at this facility. It could be satellite communications. So things like voice switches and whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's for the landing systems and so
whatever
on.
else they throw at me, like the phone PBX. I'm like, it's a contract. Why do you bug me? Put in the ticket with the contractor.
1-800.
We know you know how to do it, and you're right here.
Yeah.
Okay. And when I break it, and they come out and say, "Well, somebody touched this and broke it. Here's the bill for $1.2 million of all the equipment." Are you going to pay it, or are you going to tell me that I'm responsible for it when I wasn't supposed to touch it? So if you send me an email directing me to do it, I'll do it. But if you won't put it in writing, I ain't getting up.
That's the right attitude.
Yeah.
No, I like it. Like when I did work in the office, someone comes over and hands you a sheet of paper. Never ever put your hand out and take it. Put your hands behind your back and look at the sheet of paper, because the moment you touch it, it's your problem.
So true.
Yeah. Never take a piece of paper off somebody who's walking around. And if you want
I
to
love
be
it
busy,
when someone puts that email with the red receipt on it. I'm like, no, you don't need to know if I read it or not.
yeah, no,
That's why I use the
response for that.
preview. So
Yep.
I read it in the preview and then delete it,
Or-
and they
or
never
it's on
get
my
a read
phone.
receipt.
Or the phone doesn't have that option.
That sucks.
But if it's on your computer, it prompts you for the read receipt because you can turn on that option to prompt you and just hit cancel. But the preview works as well. So when I did work in the office, that people handing sheets of paper was, I know, and I used to be IT. I haven't been IT for 10 years now. I'm product management now, but I'm with a software company. I'm a PM for. I specialize in electronic data discovery for litigation. In other words, finding crap so the lawyers can look at it and present it in court. That's what I specialize in now.
So I had a boss once. One of my managers came up behind me and started shaking my chair. And he's like, "Why don't you ever read my emails?" And I'm like, "I read all your emails." He's like, "I just sent you one and you deleted it." And I'm like, "Oh, you mean the one that said," and I just like kind of recited it to him because I had just read it. So it's fresh in my head. And he's like, what? But it had a read receipt. And I'm like, "Well, I don't know. It must be broken." I never bothered to tell him that I was reading it in the preview and deleting it. He probably wouldn't have understood that either. But, so he spent months calling our IT department saying he's not getting his read receipts working.
Actually, I was working for Dell for many years in Ireland. And I got a call once to go up. I was doing IT support. I got a call to go up to one of the VPs. And he was saying that his computer is making a noise, a cranking noise. So I went over and listened to it. Head slap on the disk, right? You can hear what head slap is. Basically, if you don't know what head slap is when the disk is spinning. If you hit the hard drive, the head that travels above the disk to read it vibrates and hits the disk and actually damages the disk, causes little indents in it. So I could tell something happened. So I said, "What happened?" He says, "Nothing." I said, "Something happened." It was one of these like mini towers on the floor. And I said, "Tell me what happened." He said, "Nothing." So after a few minutes, I said, "Look, if you don't tell me, I can't help you. I need to know what went wrong." So he very, very shyly said, "I was spinning around in my chair and I kicked it over." One of the VPs at Dell. So he eventually gave up the information. He was actually just spinning around in his chair and he knocked over his machine. And damaged the hard drive. But yeah,
it's not as bad as so the desktop support for a long time, and three of us were standing there watching this girl and her stilettos kicking the machine. We're just all watching. I said, "Who's gonna go and help her?" I said, "Oh, I will. This is too priceless." She just got fed up and she started kicking it. It was hilarious.
Yeah. It was one of the guys. I was with AST computers at the time because I went from Dell to AST. Oh no, I went from AST to Dell. Sorry, but I was with AST computers, and there's one of the VPs. Now he was IT clueless, but he knew business, right? But he's IT clueless, and he was not a nice guy to deal with. So he kept telling me his computer was very slow. "Hey Mika, how are you?" And we went up and we checked his hard drive, and his desktop was full of icons and all this kind of stuff. It was the whole place. He stored everything on his desktop. So we told, and then he also complained. He said, "Not only is it slow," he says, "it's very heavy." And it was like, oh, sorry, it wasn't desktop, it was a laptop. It was very heavy. And I said, "Well, that's just because you're storing too much data on hard drive." And he went, "Wait, what?" And I said, "You're storing too much data on a hard drive." And he didn't believe me. I said, "Look, how do we store data on the hard drive of a computer?" He says, "I don't know." I said, "Well, it's stored it's magnetically stored on the disk." And he said, "Okay." And he said, this gets better, by the way. And I said, because it's magnetically stored, you're electrically charging the hard disk. That's how we store information. And the Earth is a magnet. So the more data you store, you have two magnetic fields pulling on each other. After about 5 minutes, I convinced him. A week later, he came up to me and he said, I was just walking down the hallway, and he said, "You know what?" He said, "I didn't believe you." He said, "But after I cleaned up my hard drive, it feels much lighter." I kid you not, and he fell for it.
Yeah.
Well, you know that sometimes you have to do the small things to pay back people who are not nice to you. You know, so that's how we did it. What does he say? What do you call a hen looking for a pile of lettuce? Come on, Dan. What is it? Always trust Liam. That is the worst dad joke I've ever heard. That is terrible. Oh, that's a bad joke. So, other than your Voron, what else you guys working on? I know you got a new printer that you're playing with, John, right?
Yeah, it's the Kaiwu Slim, Tycoon Slim. So it's doing one final print, and then I'll start working on the review. It's beta, it's extreme beta. So
okay.
I mean,
it's just an i3 kind of.
Yeah. Bed slinger, but it's just like the other Tycoons. It's solid, man. It's a tank. I mean,
but that's an ordinary Cartesian style. It's not like the big boxy frame, is it?
No. It's got your linear rails. It's auto leveling, no bed screws, leveling screws. The display is very simple right now. I mean, it's basically got 2 menus on it, or 3. I mean, there's really nothing to it, and it's not ready for production. At least this one isn't yet. So it's they showed me what, like just like the timing belt, and there's lots of things that are changing for the production model. So it's the only thing they worry about is you get pre-production machine is, will it flash and stuff like it? I mean, or am I going to be stuck with that firmware?
Well, it's easy enough to always put in your own firmware because you can always do it with an Arduino board and you can always write it in there. So
well, right now, I can't even hook it up to a computer right now. It's not. It won't even.
I know, but it won't matter because
I'm just saying in general.
Yeah.
Typically you could just hook it up to a printer. I mean, to your computer if you want to, but this I can't even do that.
Yeah, so, because they haven't turned on the ports and all this kind of stuff.
But you're never stuck with it. I mean, it's a metal frame with X, Y, and Z. So
yeah, that's what
the main board. You put a cheap one in, and there you go. Maybe a different display if you need to.
I have to update my Frozen Mighty 4K. I'm gonna do that tomorrow.
Well, they're easy to update. You just copy the files to your SD card, to your thumb drive, and power it on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been doing some fantastic prints. So I mean,
that's a good sign, even if it doesn't have all the functionality yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's solid. The machine is absolutely solid. It's got.
Aren't they announcing? They're announcing their IDEX this week.
Yeah, and then they're doing the belt printer as well.
That's not this week though, is it? That's some other time. That's in a few weeks.
Yeah. So it's
because they're doing a belt printer. So I know I saw their belt printer, and it looks a bit weird that the front of the printer is covered over, so you can see the first layers going onto the belt.
Oh, again, it's pre-production, so we'll have to see.
Yeah, because I saw it on their is it their forum or whatever they have on their website. They have a posted up there, some images. So I want to see what their IDEX is. I know one of the guys who worked on the firmware, the community firmware for the Artist D, JG Maker Artist D. He's working on he's going to be doing some work with Kaiwu on their firmware as well for their IDEX printer.
Yeah, I was telling Zachary that this looks like it was meant for IDEX, the way that the form factor is.
Yeah, but isn't their IDEX wider?
Yeah, it has to be a little bit wider, at least on the inside. There's room on the inside to make those Z's a little bit wider if they really
okay.
Yeah. I mean, this is like, you got the power supply right here on the side. It's only at 330 or 350 or something.
Okay.
Well, but the whole cavity here is practically empty.
Yeah. As you know, I'm a fan of IDEX.
No, I couldn't tell. I mean,
No.
you just get all giddy like a little
Are you?
schoolgirl.
I
hear you wanna
get rid of them.
Or their favorite band.
I thought it was 4.
No, I have 3 IDEX. I have a 4th coming next month.
Which
The
one?
one what you want to give me, right?
Will
And
it
the one
power
that's coming
on?
next month is from Maker Pi. They're releasing a new one that's coming out next. Well, they're not releasing it next month. It was sent to they're being shipped right now. There's 2 of them on the way to marketing. The marketing firm they're using here in the States. One will go to them, one will come to me. So they're because they were going to do a dual extruder, and I convinced them to not go that route and go IDEX, and they built up an IDEX to test it, and they were happier with the results, so they've gone that route. So they listened. It's a better route all in. So
if their sales tank, they can blame it on you.
you can blame me. It's okay. I don't think it'll tank though. That's the one that's got the closed loop steppers that I was talking about earlier on. They're not that heavy.
I mean, IDEXs are typically pretty heavy.
They use a lot of linear rails because you need to ensure stability of the two X heads. They're a little, depending on the power supply. Like the ones, most of what I have are 500 watt power supplies. So that makes it heavy. But depends on the size
they
of the
save
bed
the weight because they use those cheap ass power supplies.
No, well, at least one of mine is Meanwell. The JG Maker.
At least one.
At least one.
So 1/3 of your.
At least 1/3, yeah.
That's good. Still not that great of odds, but hey.
Someone
told me. So hear this, Liam and Jason and everyone else. You're gonna love this comment, right?
Okay.
So someone bought the Ender 7, and I got a notification because I need to remove myself from that group eventually. But it was like their power supply burned up, and so I sent pictures of the Ender 5 Plus, the Qingling power supply internals, and the Meanwell. I just put out the 2 pictures side by side. So it's amazing the differences between the 2. And this one guy says, "Well, you don't need all those components to have clean power. They just do that to make it look better or something." I'm like,
what?
Hey, let me see if I can pull up the exact comment here.
Well, he doesn't understand that. He doesn't understand electronics apparently.
Yeah, it was so bad. I'm like the comment.
I've actually been thinking about that, Dominic. I was wondering if I take one of my IDEX, and instead of having just 2 print heads or two individual print heads, if I shift them over and add another print head along the same belt, so I have 4, 1 in one belt or 2 in one belt, 2 in another. If I print small parts, I can potentially do multiples, or take it and move part of the axis that's normally in the center of the print bed, move it forward, and then put another one behind it. Now you have 4 print heads on the one bed.
At that size of print, you might as well just resin print it.
Well, I was thinking if you're going to do that, maybe a rat rig would be a great place to put a setup like that. Because there is a Midex printer out there. Someone has come up with the Midex, and the Midex has 4 print heads. So you can actually print with 4 print heads on it. But I have to find out who it was. I can't remember. But somebody has come up with the idea of a Midex.
Okay, so here's the comment, right? I didn't even realize that he commented below me, but he said some are unnecessarily complex. You don't need complex circuits to guarantee a clean 24 volt power. They stuff that extra stuff in there to fool the amateurs who think bigger and more complex is better. So I replied back, less is more. Got it. Plus soldered traces screams quality. And
the traces were soldered?
All the traces were soldered underneath. And so this guy writes back, they're clearly different eras, or at least the one on the left is made like parts from the 1980s. This machine was just purchased a year and a half ago. But you don't need all those extra components to make the better power supply. For the most part, the extra components are just giving more points of failure, but customers like you expect to see packed with tons of components. So they just cave to you. Take some time and make the circuit diagram of each. Oh my God. This guy is just
a joke.
Yeah.
It is.
You know, I don't care if a power supply has one part or a million parts. I just don't want it to blow up. So, and that's what they do. They blow up and catch on fire.
Yeah.
If they're not made properly. I mean, you could have a mean well designed badly and explode and burn.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can happen with anything. If there's a mistake or a bad component or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, take some time and look at the circuit diagrams of each. You're going to find a lot of the parts are redundant or even unused. Okay, so there's different models that use the same circuit board, and that you have multiple layers within those boards, so they can accept different voltages or different voltages, right?
It's a fabricated flare.
So technically he is right, but some of them may be unused. Correct. Okay. The only part I see on the left and right are over on the left is the heatsink or MOSFETs. Bottom side is of the newer boards, like look at tons of components. It may just be in series or raise the part counts. Okay, so you're going to just raise the part count to have extra costs. They do it to just make non-technical people like you. To cater to non-technical
Speaking
people.
to someone who's background in electronics. Yeah,
and
that's
I did work since the parts count equals quality and performance. Oh, okay. They love people like you. You don't really know what the contained parts do, but you pay extra higher part counts and blah, blah, blah. You put some RGBs and LEDs and you're probably paid $10K as much. I'm like, okay, buddy.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I'm gonna just reply back. Hey, can I see the board that you designed, please?
Yeah, it's like that's ridiculous,
I mean, his J.W. Smithy summary: I avoid warranties.
Wow.
So,
Are you leaving? You better go to bed.
see some other time. Bye-bye.
All right, Zach. Thank you for joining. Go sleep, and I'll be on your next build when you're having it.
Sure, indeed. See you on the other side.
Ciao. Take care.
Ciao.
But yeah, that was crazy that he said that, because apparently he doesn't know what obviously he doesn't know what he's on about, but something.
So I'm going to waste time on a part placement machine, spending all that extra time. Putting the parts on, all the extra solder, paste, going through the reflow, and then if it has an underside, going through a Sensby solder wave station to coat the underside too, unnecessarily. I mean, I'm not an engineer or anything, but I did also work on the Motorola assembly line for 4 years. And I get board revisions a lot. And I used to just love watching the part placement machines. And yes, there's parts that are skipped on these boards for different revisions.
Yeah.
But not to purposely put parts on there to fool customers to think that it's over-engineered when 95% of customers will not ever open that up. Am I mistaken?
No. Most people never open it.
No, never.
Never. Yeah, I don't know. I 100% agree with you. Most people would just think of it this way: how many people do you know that has ever seen the inside of a radio?
Yeah, I mean, I've taken it apart. If it stopped working.
Yeah,
I have.
Yeah,
I have
and sometimes I would take it out apart just to see what it looked like. But we
used to fix them. We used to actually
repair radios.
We'd get a pilot report. Hey, this frequency's not working. We'd go out to the facility, look at the radio, open it up, fix it, and over the years now we just change the box.
Yeah.
We don't do anything anymore. all the newer radios under contract to build them come with repair.
Yeah.
So they just
send back to the manufacturer and let them deal with it.
Then we don't have to purchase that equipment, maintain it, calibrate it, replace it when it goes bad, or replace it when I break it or whatever, and that kind of thing, or they go missing.
Well, it's a use and throw away society now. So you use something, and when it's broken, you dump and you plug in a new one, right?
Yeah. Well, no, we don't just throw it away. We just take the box out, put the new one in, tune it, and then send the other one back in for repair, and it comes back to us.
But the consumer, I think Liam is talking about the consumer market.
In general.
And plus, it's.
Oh no, I was just saying in general. I mean, that's.
Yeah, I mean, Apple kind of catered to that, where you can't. The average customer can't take apart a phone anymore.
No, they'd be trying to fix it all with a butter knife. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go out with my dogs.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ciao with your dogs. Yeah, I mean it's.
No, they're Chihuahuas.
Oh, okay.
Or I think.
Dominic, about the comment you meant about the chameleon. The chameleon is not multiple hot ends; it's multiple extruders going into one hot end.
Yeah, as Jerry would say, that I haven't done the one that.
And we're still waiting on the one that you won on my stream.
I don't have a printer to throw it on yet.
You do now.
I'm not gonna throw it on a Tycoon. They have compatible firmware for certain manufacturers, right?
It's not firmware; it's all G code managed.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It's all G code managed, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So because he won one on my stream when I had the guy, the owner of Chameleon, come in and join. You know what a chameleon is, Jason, right?
Yeah, that's the multicolor extruder.
Well, no, it's multiple extruders with different heads, with different. You can run up to 32 extruders off it. Yeah, and you'll just feed them in and pull them in and out as required. It's all G code managed. So
yeah. I almost bought one to play with it, but
I was going to, but
didn't end up doing it because they're not expensive and they work.
They're not ridiculously expensive, no, and they do work. But I've heard good and bad. I've heard some people say about the motors dying on them over time. The steppers, the motor, because you were killing the power and turning it back on again. But I believe the newer version has changed that. What?
That's how it's controlled?
It used to be, but I believe the new system, the new way that you got, is the new kit that doesn't do that. Yeah, Ben or Bill, yes, Bill Steele, yeah. You want an MMU resin. I haven't heard of an MMU resin.
That's maybe weird.
An MMU is a Prusa color changer. But but the old way used to cut off the power to the motor, turn it on and off. And we have somebody else who's not working today. What the hell? Why are you not working, man?
I took the last couple days off.
Yeah, it was like last time I saw you, you were wearing a yellow "Don't Run Me Over" jacket and outside.
Yep.
Yeah, and
I would be.
And he was having his.
He's got some from China there. I see the wrapping.
No, that's from Amazon.
It's Amazon actually, but close enough.
Probably is from China, but it's just in an Amazon wrapper.
Yeah, exactly.
How are you?
Pretty good. Yourself?
Good. How's your eyes?
They're good.
Yeah. Got safety glasses now?
Yes, I do.
That was probably in the Amazon box.
Yep.
So what's new? What's happening with you, Matt?
Nothing too much. I got a couple printers I gotta try and review either tonight or tomorrow. Basically, I gotta make time for them, so it'll be interesting.
Are they resins?
One of them is the resin. It's the longer orange 4K.
Okay.
The other one is the BQ B1 SE. That's the one that Joel just got.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And I still have like probably 7 of them back there that have just been sitting since December of last year. So, yeah. So I need to get on those and finally get reviews going for it.
And tell everybody what that monster is that you're working on right now. That printer.
So this one here, let me adjust my camera a little bit.
This thing is this is huge.
Yeah, I saw you printing it on your Facebook. I saw it.
Yeah. So it's actually got a failed print because I didn't support the models properly, and I figured, hey, let's try it, and it failed.
Is that the one that Bog just did a review on too?
Yeah. Well, Vog did a review a while ago on it. So
because it's got the holes in the plate.
Yep. Yeah. So this is the Frozen Sonic Mega, and you can make like ridiculous, big things like masks and whatnot, and they'll fit you perfectly fine. So you could do all kinds of different stuff. I made a giant lithophane, which let's see if we can get this.
I was gonna say, does it actually? Is that from Ghostbusters?
Yes, it is.
That's Vigo.
So it is like warped, but it's actually the resin itself. It's a flexible resin. So.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I was gonna say.
I didn't realize until I was halfway through it, and the good friends who supplied me with QTS resin, they were like, "Oh yeah, I just want to let you know that resin's a little flexible." I'm like, "Oh, so that's why part of the side was warping on me," and I'm like, "Well, that would explain a lot." And then I took it out, I cured it, and I'm like, "Well, maybe curing it will help it stiffen up a little bit, and maybe it'll have just a little bit of flex, but." It's actually got a good amount of flex on it.
You should try it, lay it out on something flat in the sun. It might actually lie down.
Yeah, so like whenever it warps like this was because it's right up against the wall, so it was like sitting like this on a wall.
Okay.
So it caved in. So all I have to do is just set it down, and it'll, in a half hour or whatever, it'll straighten itself out and be fine.
Okay.
So I've probably done this about 15 times already, just moving it around and getting it all set up. So.
Yeah, that's a massive printer.
Yeah, it is. So.
Are you getting the new Anycubic? The one that you're going to
I'm trying to, but I don't think it's going to happen. So I'm not at that level right now. So I know Vog has one, and he's pretty much the only person that has the prototype that I'm aware of. So
and he pretty much trashed it. He did like the trashing at the beginning, then like slowly moved his video into very positive.
Yeah.
I didn't see the video yet.
Yeah, and he's got a handful of videos about it, just basically like showing off various things about it. But pretty much it's a photon mono, but it's completely plastic, and they stuck a very budget-friendly DLP projector inside of it to basically come out with a budget DLP, because I think the most budget-friendly DLP that I'm aware of is like $3,500.
Yeah,
so,
DLP is expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, it's way out of anybody's price range. Even if you make a lot of money off of it, it's still not going to sell itself, basically, because on top of that, the resin is also, I think, 2 or 3 times more expensive than SLA resin. For that stuff as well. But with that being said, there's also other SLA DLP mixtures coming out lately. So so you'll start to see that a lot. Like Matter Hackers just released their new one. That one supports both SLA and DLP, so you can print on both. But the other downside to that, and I was just talking about this to somebody the other day, and basically you have SLA that's like moving into the super quick speed. So you have like monochrome screens that are printing at basically anything under 3 seconds, which is ridiculously fast. But on the other side, there's DLP, which is like 3 times the exposure time. So a normal exposure time compared to SLA would be 16 seconds compared to R3. So you got to give and take. So that's the other downfall with DLP, is it takes a lot longer because you're curing at a lower UV ray, which it's actually, I think it's true sun ray, which is 385, if I'm not mistaken. So, but
we
that's
may have a tornado warning here in a little bit.
A tornado warning, huh?
Right.
We just got hit with all the rain right now. So
we hit the sky. Sorry to interrupt. It's like a yellow gray.
Oh, that's never.
His daughter said it looks like apocalypse out there.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
we just got the rain, so it's probably moving.
Where you at, Matt? You're in Indiana, right?
No, I'm in Norwich, over basically like O'Hare.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm west of you.
Yeah. So yeah, I was just walking the dogs outside, and like the whole west side is all dark and dreary, and it looks like there's still some on the south side of me too. So
yeah, it's So I knew that
you don't see any rotation. You should be okay.
Yeah.
It looks freaky out there right now.
He's a little closer to the ability to have the rotation stuff. We don't really see too many of that out here closer to Chicago. So
no, the wife is showing me here on the phone.
Yeah, I've had one about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
90 minutes.
You're southwest of Buffalo. Okay.
Woo!
Oh yeah, that doesn't look like friendly skies.
Oh yeah.
She went out there for the rainbow, but then she panned it, and it was like.
Well, the color is the sun shining because the sun is setting. It's illuminating the clouds, but yeah, we get them now and again. We're at the very top, like you are in Chicago area. We're at the very top end of Tornado Alley, so we don't get them very often. But we do get them now and again. So we're just on the outer edge of it, is where we are.
Well, we're only from Norwich. I think we're only about 20 miles west of you. So 30, about 30 miles. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but anyways, that DLP. I mean, Bog did a pretty good job. I mean, he's very thorough with. He's very, I enjoy his videos because I'm into casting and all that other stuff that he does, and Lost PLA and then Lost Wax and all this other stuff.
Right.
But he's got the small foundries. I'm looking to do bigger stuff. He does more like jewelry and finer stuff.
Yep.
There's a company. What are they called? That's not Maker Made. Let me find. They do a lot of that kind of stuff. Those home smelting and stuff. I'm trying to find their names.
But when he was doing that review, I'm like, okay, it's out plastic. I know everyone's used to these resin printers being heavy and tanks, and I'm like, okay, so I'm like, right now, I really don't care.
Yeah.
But the only thing that I saw on there, which was like sliding the vat against the LCD.
Yes.
With that DLP, it's got the hooks, and you have to slide it in versus screw it from the top down and place it on there.
That's okay because one of the older the LD002R has the same setup.
Yeah.
And the Mini from Tronxy, the Mini that did the Kickstarter on not so long ago, that has the exact same setup as well. So there's a couple of them who do that.
So with that, the upside to that is, there is that issue where you're going to scratch it, but it's not a screen. So DLP is different compared to SLA, or MSLA is actually more or less what we use. MSLA is masking stereolithography. So basically it takes like your phone LCD screen or a tablet, and it projects the image through that. Whereas DLP, this LCD that used to be there is now just a piece of glass. That's it. Just a random piece of glass.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah. So now the projector actually shines a light onto basically
the mirror,
and it mirrors that image onto that glass. So failures are a lot better on those because you're just scraping straight off of glass. And, just all around it, it's a lot easier to use. So, that looks lovely.
Oh, that's a nice rainbow, though. Hold on, let me.
It is.
Double rainbow.
I am wanting water.
You need some more water? You got water in there.
But no, it's scratching the film, right? And
yes,
that's what he was talking about, was scratching the film, not the glass.
Right. It's like some of the models nowadays, they have like a lifter on the vats on the bottom.
Yeah. So, well, as I said, like my rock solid 2K, the LD002R has a slide in, and I've never had to change the FEP in it yet. It's been really good. It's been rock solid.
Oh man, iComgrow used one, failed within the second time I printed on it.
Really? Your resin?
Oh, it was used. I mean, it was.
Oh yeah.
You know, yeah. I mean, it was a. That's why I'll never buy another Comgrow.
Dad.
That storm hit you about an hour ago. Yeah, but aren't you?
Yeah, he's.
Dan, you're way the hell south though. Well, southwest, I guess. I thought that would be hitting you now, unless it circled around.
It's just been a nasty summer here, though.
It has been. We've gotten a lot of tornado warnings this year. Like, it's very unusual, but I mean, it's been so muggy. Like, I walk out there right now, it's probably like 98% humidity outside. It's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've delayed working on the garage because it's like impossible to. They had the garage door open and work.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I'm on the other side of Lake Michigan from you guys, so like I'm about 45 miles or so northwest of Detroit.
Yeah, that's me.
This is where I am. So we're like you. We're surrounded by water everywhere. So when was it today? It was 90. It felt like 98 degrees. The heat index was through the roof today. It was really sticky out there.
Yeah, like we just went out and we got like ice cream about an hour ago when you were texting me, and I go and get ice cream and we walk outside and it's like instantly melted. Like, it was so bad.
Yeah, you walk out, you take 2 breaths, you go back in, you have a shower, you walk out again.
Yep, that's basically it.
I was just saying, those who are on, like and subscribe if you haven't already done so, guys, please.
Yeah, it's been a pretty brutal summer, and where you going outside is just. I mean, we haven't had an enjoyable day since.
You're right there.
What, May?
Well, no, I actually like this weather though. I like it hot. I like the humidity.
I'll take this over snow, sleet, and ice any day.
I do agree on that. Yes.
Okay, I will rather complain about how the heat and humidity versus any of that other crap.
You can keep your humidity. It was a nice brisk 100 here today, which is nice. Cooled down.
Well, see, 100 there when there's no humidity, it's not the same.
It's like 75 for you.
It's like 75 for us and high humidity, right?
Because I tell people that we have to bring a fork and a knife or a spoon with us and swallow the moisture before we breathe in the oxygen.
I think the worst humidity and heat-wise, because I used to live in Singapore for a couple of years, and you get off the airplane and you're in a really nice, cool, air-conditioned airport. Changi Airport is really great, and you're walking along, pushing your bags, and you get up to the door, and the door opens. You take 2 steps out, and this wall of hot air, humid air, hits you. It's almost impossible to breathe.
I'm like 65.
That's a nice print.
70 and overcast. Ooh, nice vase.
Ooh, it's a nice TPU print.
Yep. Yeah, it came out really
good.
good.
To see you finally printing something, John.
Hey, well, I mean, sometimes I have to reach out to my supplier to give me prints so I can look like I'm actually doing something.
Yeah, I lost power last night about 8:30, 9 o'clock. It didn't come back on until almost 2 a.m. this morning.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Thunderstorm. The wind leading ahead of a thunderstorm took down power lines.
This was actually done at 45.
That's
for
fast
TPU. But it looks great until you get up close to it, and then you can see the little blobs. And this
like if you slowed it down a little bit, you'll probably get a great print.
And this was done at 35.
So what TPU is that?
I don't even know the brand. Hold on.
Bob's TPU.
It looks like a Saint Smart color.
It's Yoyi.
Yoyi.
Oh, Yoyi.
I've used that before. It's not bad.
No, I mean, it's just it's a brand that I bought like I think it was a year and a half ago when I was testing it because it was like the only TPU available. It was, but no one was. People were just buying filament just to buy filament.
Jerry used
Yeah,
Yogi
this was like
for
the only
his
one.
tracks for his droids, didn't he?
Mhm.
Yeah, and that's why I recommend it. I said this stuff is literally like it's like good flexible. I mean, you saw. I mean,
It's a nice color.
I guess it's almost like a Ninja Flex. I never bought Ninja Flex.
What is it? What is it? 85 or 95? It must be 95.
I
It
think it's
can't be 85
95.
because Ninja Flex is 85.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's does a good job.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
That's a nice color though. I have some Ninja Flex here, and I have some other TPUs like black and white. But
I only have the black TPU in that. I mean, I don't really print much of it. That's what the other black TPU is. What I did with the other droids.
The tracks. Yeah.
yeah, that's why I got the black TPU. But I have a white one because I had to 3D print something large on the Ender 5 Plus for a buddy of mine. He was putting in a new electrical box, and he wanted to trim it all off. And it was also an outdoor box. He wanted to trim it all off. So I 3D printed him the framing to go around his electrical box to go into the siding, so it actually finishes off the siding to look clean. And I did that in the 5 Plus.
Oh, so I
yeah,
guess Matt.
Ninja Flex on the 5 Plus at 85A, and it worked.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it'll work on any Bowden.
It
It's
will.
just a matter of how slow you want to go.
Yeah, I was doing about 15 or 20, but and no retractions. But I have Capricorn tubing on it, the Capricorn XS.
Yeah.
Because you
Dan
need to
is
have
asking when you guys,
Yeah.
when you guys come over.
Constrain the slop.
So, might be replying here.
Hey Matt, when you crashing a tripod stream? Oh,
Hey, it's only like 15 minutes for me. I can just run down there right now.
hang out with him.
Yeah, it's
I've done that to Tim a couple times.
John's gonna get a
Tim came
surprise.
down here. He crashed at my place. Well, not
Do you
crashed.
really want to go hang out in the hot garage though?
Yeah.
It's actually not that bad in here.
I'm
Since the
in
air
my
conditioning
nice
got
cool
fixed.
basement.
Yeah. When your air works, when the power's not out, or whatever other reason you use for your prints failing. Yeah.
Well,
Hey
hey,
Breco, how are you?
Your printer exploded.
hey, that was a good explosion, though.
Okay, Justin, you can come on whenever you're ready.
Talking
That
about
took
the
out
lovely
everything.
CR6SE.
Well, I had to go up to my own GitHub to download my own firmware. I'm like, please work, because some people say it doesn't. And, because you trust the YouTube comments, right? And then I put it on there and it worked. I was like,
100% you can trust YouTube, especially certain
Absolutely.
types of people.
Yeah, don't you know?
Especially the ones with the tinfoil hat you have to trust.
Well, no, Jerry put the tinfoil hat on last week. Remember?
Oh, did he?
That was funny. Jerry's it was overworking at his son's place, putting down new wooden floor, and so he said he won't be joining us tonight. Yeah, he's normally one of the first in here as well, but now he's had a busy day, and his back is aching and everything now because he hasn't done manual labor in so many years.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's suffering.
Is he watching us?
I don't know. Maybe
I haven't seen him on.
Maybe he's curled up asleep in bed.
There's a size difference.
That's a vast difference. Yeah, 1 second, let me bring it up full screen.
Mm-hmm. That's a difference in efficiency right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
1993 is the one on the right.
So the new one, what SEER rating is it?
I had to look it up. But it's a 2.5 ton. The guy that ripped out the old one, he said, man, that thing in 1993 probably cost $6,500 to $7,000. It was you couldn't get anything better, and it was a high efficiency. That was a high efficiency at the time.
I got you.
But yeah, it's
Can
like
I work for a second?
for the square footage of this house, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Here, let's put this over here.
Yeah, I think I've got a 5 on my home.
Don't feed the puppies.
I'll have to
What,
check.
5 ton? Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, mine's a 3, and I feel like it's like a 2.5 would have been enough, but
well, how many square footage is your house?
Just under 2,000.
Yeah. Well, I mean, ours is 1235,
Mm-hmm.
and and he was like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's not that big." He said, "It looks a lot." I'm like, "No, it's like a city house in the burbs. It's long and narrow."
Yep.
Yeah, that's what this. It's a townhouse, so
Yeah.
it was the fastest thing that you could. It was when we had this built. It took 8 months. If
That's
you wanted
very
a
good.
house, it would be well over a year and a half waiting. Yeah.
Yeah. See, Karen, I would think that yours would be a 3-ton or a 3.5 at the max, not a 4-ton. But I mean, people do pressure testing and stuff, and you never know.
Yeah.
Typically, it's just off of square footage.
Yeah, I'd have to double check mine. I think mine is a 5. I believe it is.
How many square feet your house?
He lives in a mansion. Don't ask.
I don't know. No, housing is cheaper in Michigan.
Nobody wants to live.
It's 3.5.
So.
35. Yeah, because that's what I had. My house in Florida was about 3,600 square feet, and we had a 5-ton. Yeah.
Mine is 3.5, and that doesn't include the basement. So the basement is, and we have a finished basement as well.
Did you put that up your
So
nose?
it's probably closer to 4.2 or so, all in.
Basement's air conditioned. Yeah.
Well, the whole house is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, my basement is finished. This is my office. This is in the basement.
Right.
So, yeah. So my air conditioner is right behind this wall.
Oh, okay.
That's my furnace and air conditioning and air room is right behind here.
Gotcha. There you go. Here's
But
one off the Mega for you.
it works.
Oh, that's nice.
There's only one downside. Oh, that's nice.
Oh wow!
Here, let me bring it up.
Looks like a proper diamond almost.
Just
cool.
need to wash it and cure it, and then we're all good. Some
And then you
dimpling
can
on
put it on your forehead to be like, for Avenger.
Vision. That's a rupee from Zelda.
Oh yes. I got to get the new game for the Switch.
Yeah, I haven't played a Zelda in a while. I finally set up the whole entertainment center, which is right behind me. So I have, my Xbox and everything. So we've been playing like old school PlayStation 2 games that we've had forever. So
yeah, I want to get the Nintendo 64 in here, but I want to get a CRT monitor for it. Because it just looks like crap on an LCD.
yeah.
George, power rating in watts, it does not apply to air conditioning. It's about the amount of air it can move through the house. So it's done by tonnage, by the amount of air it can pump through.
So in pounds, right? How many pounds of?
Yeah.
Well, that's just your refrigerant charge.
Yep. Yeah. So
that's not. That doesn't have anything to do with.
So that took an R22.
Or what size it is. Yeah, just like when your heat's measured in BTU, your refrigeration is measured in tonnage for your home, your HVAC anyway. I think. Yeah. Yeah.
That would hold 7 pounds of refrigerant. And it's R22 that's been discontinued and non-manufactured for over a year. It would cost me over $700 to get it refilled, and there was a leak somewhere. So they would have had to fix the leak, find the leak, which was probably in the coil because it was all rusted.
Yeah.
Because the drain pans back then were metal. Now they're all in PVC.
Take care, Dan.
Learned a lot since when the guy was here.
Have a good one, Dan.
Later. Family
See, Dan.
stuff. Yeah, it's amazing the difference.
Because you do everything upside down, Kieran. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's talking about heating and cooling instead of cooling and heating. Everything's backwards down there, But mine is running great. I think the only problem I've had with mine, I had the contactor went bad in it, and it took me about so when the contactor went bad, it took me about a week to find a replacement.
Wow.
but because it's an old unit.
Well, that's the thing is I was able to find some parts for this unit, and just various places, including Amazon. But I told the guy, I'm like, hey, if you get money for scrap for this, go ahead.
Yeah.
He was asking me if when the garbage collection day is, and I said, well, you're on a Saturday. It'll be sitting outside until Friday.
Yeah,
And
the
scrappers that will come by on Thursday night.
yeah, we have the same here on like today is our trash day, so they drive around yesterday and they've been around sometime early this morning as well. Some of the guys who are stragglers come around in the morning.
Hey, Steven, did you get the filament? I got the notification on our hockey puck that you should have gotten it.
You mean on Amazon?
Yep.
So what's next for all of you guys then? I know Matt has a whole pot. Well, Matt has a whole pot of reviews to do. Mr. German has to get his resin up and running. He hasn't printed on it yet. Shame on you.
Protective gear. I don't want to have a Matt Palmer incident.
You don't want to have a Matt Palmer incident.
It's stuck in my head. I mean,
you see that?
Sorry,
You're not going to get that one down easy, are you?
But I can show you some stuff already.
Sit back down.
Yeah, please sit down.
No.
Hey, don't make us look bad here.
Oops, too late.
I ordered some classes similar what Matt Farmer have actually. They're on the way, but I have
He's got a PPE mask.
Yeah, and for right now, this I have, but I have a better classes coming.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I normally have around.
I already have an old long sleeve T-shirt or what I can use.
Oh, you're right, Kieran. It's actually not Matt's. It's actually his better half's printer. So she get up and running when she says it's okay for Matt to use it. Okay, so that's why it's taking him so long. Matt is waiting for permission. Oh, now we understand.
No, I know. If I get something, I'm not gonna rush something in. I wanna,
We know you won't rush into it. You won't be allowed to.
I mean, look how much patience I have with my lithophane making. I mean, I take 7 days for one picture to make. So that's patience for you.
Yeah,
that's my biggest picture right now. What I made in color, 400 mil in size.
So I have a comparison thing you can do. Take one of your printers. When you get your resin stuff all set up and everything, do that same exact one and try and print as many as you can on the resin printer before the FDM is done and see how many you can do.
Oh, yeah. I can calculate that.
What's great about the resin is that you could have the whole plate taken up and it would still take just as long.
You are correct, Louise, as if Matt would touch a non-G-Tech printer. That's why we know it's your printer, not Matt's.
Well, I got an A10T that's just been sitting and collecting dust since I got it.
See, the other thing about a resin, about doing lithophanes on a resin, you can put multiple stacked one behind the other on a bill plate and print.
That's what I just said.
That's what I want to do in the future.
I'm sorry. Forgive me, John. I was going through the chat. I wasn't.
That's why I said you could have them next, and that's when Matt was saying, and it would take you just the same amount of time. Because
actually, I think I'm gonna probably Actually, I think I'm most likely gonna max it totally out most of the time, because that's the way I like to go. I like to go big,
I'm not going to touch that one.
That's what we heard.
I'm not going there.
I mean, it's like the audience knew what he was going to say.
I am not going to touch that. And Louise, you need to have a talk with this man. That's funny.
No, I can show you some examples on my.
See?
Let me load G2 box. I'm showing you some models here. I don't know what you're talking about.
I
lost you
didn't
totally.
say a word. I was waiting for you to show the models.
Exactly.
Oh man. Oh, that's funny.
Doesn't say a woman.
Well, I was going to. No, I'm saying. But I'm trying to be nice. I'm waiting for Louise to come in and smack you upside the head.
Oh no, please not. Oh man.
Matt, take that hit like a man. Come on.
Oh man, I'm a thinker. I'm not a fighter.
Well, you've just lost, so it doesn't matter. That's funny.
No, don't grab her.
Yeah, it's always good to have.
We're waiting for her to walk in
on
behind
my
you.
expense. I know.
Who said you could come down here and be on a live stream?
Come on, Luis. Jerry's not on. You have to do a. You have to do a Betty and come in and smack him up the head.
Please not.
Someone has to fill that gap.
Live stream?
She's gonna come rushing over now.
That's okay, Matt.
Good.
It's okay, Matt.
End the stream. End the stream. End the stream.
These are allowed.
Save yourself.
Here you go.
Nope.
That's the biggest one that I want to build.
Okay, well, you're going to do that lying flat? Are you going to? So you're going to print it as one unit on the bed?
Oh.
Yep.
Don't go 100% to the bed. Back it off a bit of space around the edges.
Yeah, that's the space. Exactly 2.5 mil.
Angry Sky is there, John.
So yeah.
Hold on a second. Let me zoom in.
He said there you got like
I don't know if you can see it.
No, we're looking at the bottom of your screen, not the.
Sorry. I don't know.
You know, you're on StreamYards. You should be able to do a share screen on this, by the way.
Yeah, he can.
Yeah, I'm on my other computer.
Yeah.
Because I keep things separated, you see.
Gotcha.
In case one
join on that
goes down.
Oh. Now
So
we know
that-
why he's.
If you want to size that down just a tad, just to be on the safe side,
I'd go inside the blue line.
Yeah, like you want to.
Yeah, this is in the blue line, exactly.
No,
exactly
no.
in the blue line.
Inside it, about a little, so you can see the gray underneath it.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
So just size it down, just like maybe 5%, if that.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
really,
I was trying to.
Of course, John.
Because
or
my
printer supplier was going to say that. My fabric.
Because one side is 125 millimeter in width. Yeah. I have one lithophane what's 120 mil wide.
Yeah, well, I would keep it just so you can see inside the blue line, see a strip of gray around the outside at least.
All right.
Trash bin.
Yeah, do that.
Bless you.
Thank you. I'm allergic to kids. Go.
So trash can, what's that for?
His printers. His failed prints. You need a bigger one.
Talking to me? No, I don't have any Creality print. Oh wait, no, I still have one, but no, I don't have any Creality FDM printers.
Yeah, no. John has a skip outside the door for his printers and failed prints.
Oh yeah, I was like watching. I forget who it was. They were recycling their benchies. It was CNC Kitchen. I watched his videos.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, man, that machine's nice. I said, man, I could just recycle everything that I do. So
now all you need
be like non-stop. I print something, it goes right in there.
Yeah, all you need now is actually one that will recycle aluminum, so you can actually recycle your printers.
Oh yeah. No, I would just have my forge at
Yeah. So Creality comes in, you try and get it working, it goes up in flames, it goes into the forge.
Yeah, look like Karen said at the.
I have an idea.
Be careful, it might hurt.
Okay,
you guys were talking about that I don't touch any G-Tech item. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna print a G-Tech logo and stick it over the frozen one. I call it G-Tech Mighty 4K.
Yeah. I mean that was on the CR6 SE.
Well, now I'm glad we're all sitting down because Kieran has just defended John.
I know.
That has never happened in the history of
history. Took
Took
him a year, but watch out, it might get retracted.
The question is, how much is he paying you to say that?
Yeah. How big is that check? Make sure you don't drop it; it might bounce.
Yeah.
Somebody put him in timeout.
Make it creative, like, no, I don't need it failing all the time on me.
Barely doesn't like here, huh?
Oh, they don't. No.
Hey, get out of there.
That's
No, they're when they try to bribe me to take down a video.
I've been approached in other ways. Not I've been approached to make changes or to redo something. I said no, obviously, but it's one of the and it was not long. About a week later, the 7 Deadly Sins video came out, which was perfect timing, actually.
No, it's
pretty
damn. You know, I mean, yeah, I'll see if I ever release all that stuff that they sent me, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Some things are just meant to just be unsaid. It is what it is.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
I mean,
go on.
I was gonna say with what Maker's Muse did was perfect enough. I don't need to, you know, I was gonna send him my stuff, but he was getting it from other creators, and by the time I responded, he already did the video. So.
Way to be on top of things, John.
Well, you're also on the fence on it because you release something like that, and my channel isn't big enough to absorb that type of impact. Unlike CNC Kitchen, or or Maker's Muse. I mean,
what's Creality going to do to you?
Yeah.
I mean, really? Are they not going to send you printers? They're probably already there.
Yeah, they don't anyways.
And you probably don't want the ones they send you.
I was going to say, you sure you want another fire hazard? They're starting to turn into ANET.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I'm sure there were other manufacturers you could have talked to and said, hey, you know, I'd love to be on your list. Look what I've got, what I'm going to put out against your competitor, by the way. I'll never do this to you.
Well, you can't do that either.
Take much better quality to surpass them.
Yeah, so it's more about the amount of people you could end up losing, followers and so on. Your numbers could suddenly drop.
Yeah.
If you bash somebody too hard and if you keep repeating about it, you know.
That's the problem. Is who said that for me to do another negative video or something? I said you can't keep on doing that because then
probably
you get
Jerry.
Because then you're going to become the biased, the specific, like, I hate these machines just because they're low quality type thing. Like, somebody's going to dog on you for that specifically.
Yeah, because, there he goes, that person again, just ranting about how bad everything is all the time.
But on the flip side to that, then you have the crazy tinfoil hat man prototype test design. And it's amazing how we all went down that route. Yeah,
in our heads.
He just, I don't know how he still is keeping going, but apparently he does. So,
well, there's.
I mean, he's got, you got to give him sometimes he's got a good perspective, but you're right. He can go down. He can go down. I don't know if it's a rabbit hole, but he can go down like a really big sinkhole.
He attacked like Teaching Tech for stealing his thunder on that little CNC.
Yes, yeah, he's stealing all my videos, but I'm not getting any subscribers. Well,
who said that?
That design prototype test guy.
Okay.
Yeah,
you ever watched him? He did a whole video that Teaching Tech was stealing his ideas, his video ideas, making the same videos, and gaining subscriber count while he had already made those videos and nobody was subscribing. So perhaps it has something to do with your personality, the way that you present your content, your production value. Maybe there's something to do with that. There's other little things that count towards why some people excel and some people don't. There's timing, there's all kinds of things.
Yeah.
Maybe people like his accent better than you whining. Who knows? It just.
That's what I think, because I have an accent, and at times it's really heavy. Depends if I'm tired or not, and if I do a stream or videos, I think I might be okay in the European market, but not so much in the American market. You know what I mean?
I don't think your accent is that strong.
You got CNC Kitchen, you got other YouTubers that we all watch here in the States, and yours isn't it's just like theirs. So I mean,
if we can make it through an hour or two stream with Kieran on it talking, we could certainly watch a 10 or 15 minute video with you. I mean, come on.
Well, you listen to my videos and you watch. You're on.
I mean, Astro can't get a printer to turn on.
I know,
right?
And we still watch.
But you're a natural speaker, Liam.
I know, yeah.
And Jason is a natural speaker. So
well, I've been doing it for years.
It's your profession. I mean, talking to the airplanes. I mean, they have to have a clear voice to understand you.
I don't talk to the airplanes.
He just fixes the equipment.
Why aren't you talking back?
I don't even.
747. Talk to me.
No, I'm the guy that you don't know is there, because that's good. The only reason somebody would know we're there is if something bad happens, because then they'd be looking and see us. So, because we'd have to be there for an investigation. Otherwise, it's very good days when you go to work and your phone doesn't ring, nobody's looking for you, nobody's there. And if one person does hunt you down, hopefully they're just asking if you want to go get some lunch or something.
I don't want to buy you lunch.
Like me.
Or buy me lunch, yeah. Those are really, really good days. So
the people. It's not to do with your accent. It's about the content you deliver and what you talk about, and that's what people join for, right? They don't just come on just to. They don't care about your accent as long as you can get your message across. Hell, they listen to me, so that's saying a lot.
But for me, at times it's difficult to explain myself, to get my points across, because I do get. Even you understand me. Like early on, I'd done the mistake. I said 1 mil layer height instead of 0.1 mil layer height.
People make mistakes. It's okay.
So,
every one of my videos has a mistake in it somewhere. You know how many times I rewatch it and then all of a sudden I publish it? I'm like, son of a.
We notice them all, John. Don't worry.
I know.
Yeah, script it. It's all about scripting it. And Zoran said it right. So what you do is
beautiful, Liam. I mean, you have a calm voice. You speak clearly. But yet you are very serious, I think.
You think I'm serious?
Yeah, too serious.
Well, when you're on your streams, you are.
Well, it depends. Sometimes.
You wear
Depends. I hang with them more relaxed, I suppose.
He does wear Depends. I knew it.
I wear Depends. Is that what you said? So if you script what you're going to say, if you know what you're going to talk about, and even create bullet points for yourself that you can follow along with, that's all you need. Like, I don't do that. But if you're not sure and you're uncertain, and if you create say, I'm going to talk about this, and this is the order I'm going to say about this topic and this topic and this topic, like designing lithophanes and doing all this kind of stuff, walk through the steps and create bullet points to follow.
There's another problem. Lithophane only can talk so much about its one subject,
But still, you start somewhere, and people always want to know how to do lithophanes,
Yeah. But
I'd say that's probably the most asked thing. Like, how do I make this out of anything else in 3D printing? Is how to make lithophanes.
Yeah, I do feel sometimes I'm repeating myself.
And I do. The thing is you make. I don't know. I created my channel. I didn't title it anything 3D printing. I just named it so I could put my content to whatever I want. I mean, everyone says you have to have a niche, and every person that says that actually says that with YouTube, they're actually really correct. But if you say you are the niche, they're going to tell you're full of shit. So, and you know what? You can't be your own niche. You know, people come to you. I mean, I have videos that have been out there that have 300 views from 2 years ago. It's okay, whatever. I don't care.
I have some of those.
I don't. You know, I mean, Zachary was talking. He's like, man, what's going on with the algorithm? And he's like, he released a video a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and he's like, it's only got like 500 views. I said, it's what people are looking for. I mean, you can't help it. I said, you have these people that have 1 million subscribers. Some of their videos will do 2 million views within 2 weeks. Others will see 200,000 views in 2 weeks. It's the same thing. It's what they want. It's the topic that they're looking for, and you got those people that will watch it no matter what. And I do that with a lot of subscribers, you know, that I watch. And you got people like my wife that will subscribe to a channel and actually go back and watch from the very first videos all the way up.
I have a question, guys. Are you finding that the chat is coming up really slow when I'm showing it on screen? So it must be their service.
I'm not watching you click, so I have no clue.
Well, let's put it this way. I'm going to change right now. Tell me how fast it changes on screen.
Immediate.
Okay, so it's just my feed then, because I'm seeing stuff taking forever to load. I don't know why.
As soon as you said it came up.
Okay. Well, the video feed is good, but it looks very slow to me.
Well, and I purposely just didn't, because I knew my channel was going to be all over the place. And Matt, I chose the title of mine just for that purpose, because I knew my content wasn't going to just be dedicated on one subject.
Garage. So multiple things. Anything what you can think of.
And if you put yourself in a niche, you're going to be stuck with that.
Yeah, and I put myself in the niche with Lithophane.
I'm not the type of person to give that type of advice. It's just I see people that title their channels a certain way, and then they're stuck with it. And then they have to make another channel for other content because they title their channel.
How do you go?
We hear you.
Working?
Yeah, we hear you now.
Yes.
I mean, the design aspect of Lithophane, I can make videos about that, like how to create
puppies
this or create one of my cans, or
and the thing is you can run out of subject matter pretty quickly besides creating another picture, right? So it's other channels rely on constant influx of new printers or switching around to other content. Like Joel made a comment saying, why didn't this video do so well? Well, I mean, he's doing a live stream right now. I bet he's got a huge audience right now. But and it's because it's a new printer, and but he's plateaued out with certain content. I watch him all. He's a great entertainer.
Yeah, I like
watch him all.
I could create short videos like how I created this in like a short 5-10 minutes video, and explain to them how it was created and what filament I used, what print I used.
Or you could do ASMR type stuff, Matt, where you don't have to say it, you just do it. I mean, there's people out there that do really well. Shit, you got people chewing food and have more views than I do when I take 30 hours to
edit. I know.
Well, that's just content quality, John. I mean, that's
true. Yes, I get it. I see where I see which run I am.
If you're going to compare yourself.
I mean, I've been thinking about certain ways of using the drone, because it's been kind of just.
Drones we're not allowed to use anymore over here.
I'm jealous of those skies there, Zolan.
You know what videos have the most views? And I don't get it because it's not really my thing. But I came across it and I was like, what? All these people just sit there and watch pimples being popped and blackheads being popped. And they have like 8 million views, 20 million views. I'm like, really? This has to be like people watching it over and over or something. I don't. If that's unique views, that's just. Yeah.
So
That's another reason.
Loopy Lou, once you get after that 100 subscriber, right, and you get that custom name, you really can't go back. And then
At
it's
an
either you
Airbnb
drop it
waiting
and
for
then
the
you reboot
kids.
it. Oh, that was awesome, Zolan.
Sorry, say that again, Zolan.
I mean, ultimately,
I'm at an
want
Airbnb waiting for the grandkids.
Oh, cool.
What were you saying, Matt?
Ultimately, I want to stick with Lithophanes because I want to create it for people, so that buy my stuff, and I want to go into that market. If somebody wants a figurine like Homer Simpson, I may gonna do it, but it depends probably on the model.
Then you want to do more salesy type of pitch if you want to sell your stuff, rather than talk about how-tos. You want to just sell them.
Or you just, if you're afraid of your accent, like I said, do the ASMR type stuff, right? Where you're just not talking.
Computer
I only
voice.
did one video like that where I didn't say one word. Is because I literally didn't want to talk at all during the video. I'm like, screw it, I'm not doing it.
Talking has never been my problem because I'm Irish. We're loquacious at best, at minimum. Most of us are. So, my problem is not stopping.
I mean,
is it true the historical footage what they showed in The Simpsons when you land into Ireland airport? The beer is everywhere on the runway. The beer cans and beer bottles.
No, that's the UK. Wrong country.
Well, I mean, The Simpsons had predicted a lot of things, so.
Yeah.
Oh, another one of those. Okay.
Hey, you gotta throw some humor into your channel.
Actually, you wouldn't believe. When I was young, I was really quiet. I was really, really quiet as a kid. When I got into the military is when I got into being more outgoing in the Navy. Because you have to give commands and you have to give orders and stuff. It kind of takes you out of your shell. It's kind of funny, but now they just can't stop me. So, but I think you can do content, but just vary it. It's good to vary it. Like having hangouts is good because it gets people to come in and talk and converse with you.
But
I thought about that.
Also, here's the thing with the hangouts. I've also people. It's great to do things like this. Totally with it, right? I like it, but when people see it on your channel, it floods your channel with saying, "Oh, they're looking for content," and a lot of times they'll go one video to the next, and they'll be like, "Oh, this is just people talking about." Okay, what are they talking about? And the rewatchability isn't as much, right, than when you're doing something or when you're presenting something.
But if you change the cards at the beginning, at the opening of a channel, and you put your actual other stuff in there, and low prioritize these not in those cards, then they don't become
it depends on which.
Or you grab your street video after the fact and you cut out sections of it and make smaller videos out of those sections.
Yeah.
That is what the FPV drone people are doing. Is they'll do like a 2-hour stream and then they will cut out the 2-hour stream that has a form to it though, so they know they're going to be talking about this for this amount of time, and then when they're done with the stream, they cut that out and post it as its own video.
Yeah, because you would see a lot of people that would hide that for either Patreon or private, make those videos private so it doesn't flood their main channel, or they will create another channel to do that. Like basically what Hot Makes he did. That's why he did it, because Hot Makes was showing up once a week on his, and then it was so Jim made another channel exclusively for that purpose.
Yep.
And the thing is, you can't move stuff when you do that. You have to export the video and then re-import it if you want to move it, which is a very painful process. So there's no way to move it over, or it's not that easy to do it, It's a pity. You should be able to move your videos between your channels.
I mean, it's not. I'm no expert in any of it, but it's just what I see. It's just all you have to do is go on people's channels and look. It's not like like Prusa when they have their live streams, and you will see 1,000 people on, or wind up watching it in a week. But it's a different audience at that point.
It's a customer print.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's customer driven.
Yeah, it's very different. Yeah, so I use the cards and I move, so I organize them by content type, is what I do.
Yeah,
So,
and I suggested to Jerry because he said he saw a drop in his. I said, well, maybe you change up and say, hey, throw a different idea out, a subject matter of what you're going to talk about this time, and don't let the people that come on flip it on you. And try to stay on point.
Yeah, and like on these
with me and Jason, that won't happen though.
No, it never happened with you, Jason, and Kieran online. Yeah, but on these hangouts, I like to keep them easy going because we jump around the topics a lot. And I think that's better than sticking to just 3D printing because sometimes it can be very, very short if you're only on one topic. Whereas when you move it around, hey John, how are you? But when you're jumping over
all
Mac,
the crickets in this freaking garage, man.
it stirs it up a little bit, and in the changing topic, I like the idea of moving the topics around, and making it more fluid because then like someone could be talking about like printers, or someone could be talking about repaneling the wall in your garage, or Matt talking about making his wedding plans because he was over with the Outlaws today, making wedding plans. And yeah, I said Outlaws, not in-laws.
That's what I was going to ask if you said Outlaws.
I did say Outlaws, yeah. So like that kind of keeps it interesting because I think I see Hangouts as more of a casual stuff like you chat with your buddies.
A social thing.
It's a social thing, right? In comparison to I'm doing a live stream about this printer, or I'm doing this review. Are you leaving? All right, Zolan.
Food's done. I'm hungry.
Okay, you better go eat then. Take care, man.
Let us know what you're eating.
It was weird hearing that voice and seeing not the fox.
I know, yeah, the trash can there. But I think mixing it up because this is more of a social gathering than anything else. These hangouts are, and we've gotten new people joining. Like Jason, you joined like not so long ago. You started joining into these streams, and like Matt has come on now and again when he's available. So like we get to spread out. Oh, he's having spaghetti. He just said. So we get to expand our group of people that we deal with on a regular basis, right? And that's what this is all about. And even the guys who in chat who never come on screen, they get to know us. They feel more relaxed to ask the stupid question because there's no such thing as a stupid question, right? So it encourages them to come out of their shell. Some people are just not open to asking questions, and I'd like to have. I think it's better to be. It's easier to ask questions with someone you know, right?
Did Renee receive his parcel?
I need to check. I do not believe so. Oh, you have pneumonia? Well, that sucks.
Walking around.
I don't. The last time I checked was mid last week, and it was still in Danish. Customs. So I'll ping him tomorrow and find out if he received it yet or not. But he said he was going to let me know if he once he got it, and he hasn't done so. So I'm not too sure if it's turned up or not because he's normally pretty diligent with stuff like that.
No.
Yeah, I have to ask him about if he printed the lithophane. What I sent him over.
I don't know. Like, this is 2 months now. Over 2 months now. It's early June it was sent.
Wow.
Hey, Alina, how are you? You're new to the group. I haven't seen you here before, I don't believe. Click on the subscribe button below and ding that bell so you get notified when I go live. But feel free to open up conversation and ask questions or just chime in on our general conversation. When we're not giving Matt a hard time, we pick on somebody else at some point. So I see your rat rig is printing back there, Jason.
It is. Well, I'm doing the pressure advance tuning.
Okay. What is it, a series of tests you have a script for?
Yeah, it's a built-in thing. So it's scripted in Clipper, I guess. But no, Pressure Advance isn't scripted in. Anyway, it's just a specific model with some settings set a specific way for the to slow it down in the corners, kind of thing, and then the scripted part that's in it will change the pressure advance every so often. The first one it wasn't very good, so I'm going back and checking the flow.
Okay.
And seeing, because that'll kind of throw it off.
Do you go tonight to the Chrome Crow show, Liam?
The what?
What's it called again? I pronounced it wrong. Comgrow.
They're starting at 10 o'clock, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's roughly we'll be finishing up anyway. So yeah, I'll jump on. I don't know what they're doing there. I really didn't pay much of attention, but I'd like to join their streams just to see what's going on. I know they recently done a CNC. I don't know what they're working on now. They're talking about a laser, is it?
Their 1500 watt laser. Oh wait, 15.
No, it's a 5.5. It's a 40 watt 5.5 output. Is what they're getting ready to go live.
God, if they don't stop doing the power supply input on these lasers,
everybody does it. Everybody does it.
Waterproof by Comgrow Professional Ultrasonic Cleaner.
Oh, okay. So they're talking about an ultrasonic cleaner. Okay, but yeah, I agree with you, John. Like companies that say a 40 watt laser when it's 40 watts input and only 5.5 watts out, they should be advertising the output because like, one, it is misleading, and secondly, you're not telling people the real capabilities. Like a 5 watt. Oh wait a second. Jerry's here.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How you doing?
Hey, man.
Wow. Hey, how are you, Jerry?
How are you feeling?
Yeah, I've been over my son for the last 2 days, and I'm about to die. I've been retired too long. When I do anything physical, it just kills me.
You still alive?
You look all right.
Yeah, but he means aches and pains and back aches.
I know. It's really ridiculous.
I know.
His computer room, we took up half the carpet. His computer room, we want to put down like a little wood laminate flooring, they lock in place.
Yeah.
Had to put a padding down, but we tore all it up. He's got a door right there that goes outside. We blocked off, and the wood was rotten. And on a manufactured home or double wide mobile home, basically, it's not plywood underneath. It's like particle board, 3/4 inch. So we had to cut all that out and rebuild it. And anyway, yeah, what's going on, everybody in chat? How you doing?
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
But it's done now.
Hey, let's see if Liam's on real quick. So here I am.
Yeah, we'll be around for about another 30 minutes or so before we get off. So,
hey, what's up, Jerry?
So we had Zachary on here as well earlier on.
Give me the screen.
Oh, I haven't checked the mail up today, but Matt sent me some stickers from when he went to Earth, and they're in the mailbox today. I got an email that said they're coming, so I just haven't checked it yet.
Sweet, nice.
Thank you very much, Matt.
It only took me like a year and a half, so.
Let's see who else is in there.
And Liam, that didn't fix the camera. When I turned off that setting I was talking about,
yeah,
I looked later and the damn thing was shut off. So once this print gets done, I'll install that software.
There's no installing. You're basically copying it onto the SD card, and when you turn it off, it boots up. It actually runs it off the SD card. You load it.
Yeah,
is what you do.
Yeah, I've got that. I've got it, Magic Lantern. I've got it up on another tab on my other monitor, and I already downloaded it. So
spend some time reading because there's a whole pile of settings in there.
Yeah,
that it can do, and it's basically extending the firmware of the camera to give you functionality, and to write and to talk to the firmware that you normally cannot. That's not readily available. Is what it does. Like if your camera doesn't do time lapse as a Canon camera, that will allow you to do time lapsing using that.
Okay,
you can do stuff like that with it, So it's kind of cool. So someone's showing bubbles.
No.
So, what was I? So, other than working on your son's stuff, what else are you working on, Jerry?
Well, I'm working on another video. I just got it started a little bit ago because I've been busy. My son for the last couple of days. That laser I ordered Saturday from Comgrow should have been here Monday, and then I got the typical Amazon delay. Your package is delayed if it don't come in the next couple of days. So maybe it'll come today, maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, it depends where it's coming from. It could be the weather. There's been a lot of bad weather going
It's
on.
coming. Yeah, I don't know. It's coming from the Amazon warehouse. So I went back on their site and it says they got 20 in stock. So it's hard to say. They're delivering it, so I don't know why it got screwed up.
Yeah.
It may not be coming out of the Vegas warehouse though.
Yeah,
it could be coming from anywhere. Yeah.
They said it shipped Saturday, so
Yeah, it could be coming from some of the Nordic states. Then, like up in they have a huge depot in Indiana. They have another in Chicago. There's a couple of really big main depots around. It's probably coming out of one of those and being shipped. But remember we were talking about my ESC overheating. Kieran said that he had an issue once that his receiver was causing the problem, the overheating. So I went and got it. I for $17, I got the 10-channel version of the same one. So it's only cost $17, and it should be coming in tomorrow, I believe, or Friday at the latest. So I'll try that out. And what I might even do then is put each of the arms onto its own channel, and then just do a mix on the controller to get them to operate together.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, that way then I can. That way then we're not drawing all one true on channel. I'll just plug it straight in, and then I can do the mixing on the handset and get it working that way. So I can get it doing this to steer, you know.
Yeah.
So, but so that will be coming in the next few days. Oh, let me show you. Can I? Is it plugged in? It is. Remember, I was telling you it's overheating. The ESC is in here, but so I'm not taking it out. But you see the plastic there all melted back.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's way too. Oh no.
Those
It shouldn't be
capacitors,
doing that.
they were getting way too hot.
I just don't trust those speed controllers, man.
Well, that's a new speed controller. That's a 20 watt, or that's a 20 amp speed controller.
I get it. Trust me, I get it. Okay, I come from a world where
Hey, kid.
you put drag on a motor.
Take care, old curmudgeon.
No matter what.
No.
These motors are smaller, of course, than what I used to use in these things. But I just don't trust anything that doesn't at least have a damn heatsink on it. Just me. You wrap it in cellophane and say, okay, it's going to absorb 20 amps. Fine. Someone else buy it. I'm not going to. It's just me. I just have very little faith in equipment like that. So.
Well, that's only if your motors are pulling 20 amps, and they're not.
Yeah.
Those motors stall out at 5 or 6.
Yes.
So it's not getting up to that. But for some reason, some other reason,
on the controller, switching, alternating sides quickly, sending spikes to the controller, to ESC. I mean, theoretically, right? You're 100% correct, Jason. You're putting a lot less through it, and it should be able to handle it. It's just like I said, it's me. You're talking to also a kid that couldn't afford ESCs running these things because it would cost half the price of the darn vehicle to buy one. A Tican or a Novak back in the day would cost $250, and the kit was $300. So.
Yeah.
So you would buy the cheap ones, and you would literally hotwire the fuse to run a modified motor, and you would see the metal glowing.
Wow.
Well, let's see what happens with the put on we use a 20 amp because I have two 20 amps, right? I got them as a set, and we'll see if the new receiver helps or fixes it. And if it does, then I know it's a bad receiver, right?
You're only running the dual one. That's the dual, right? The dual ESC.
It's a dual output.
It's a dual output, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say if you're running dual ESCs, you gotta cut one of the wires, the red wire.
No. And
Don't cut the red wire.
Yeah. Half of them are red. So what am I going to do? Let me show you this is the. Let me open. This is the spare.
Yeah.
So this is the one I got. So you got the two motors.
Yep.
And you have
Jake from State
copper
Farm, how you doing?
connector, and then you have your.
It's nice that they're using a Dean's connector though.
Yeah. And it's using It's using good heavy,
I could
heavier
tell you,
grade
man.
silicone wire as well.
When I was racing 30 years ago,
Hey Jake.
Dean's wasn't around, and everything was Tamiya. And you run a modified motor and 6 or 7 cell battery pack, and that plug got so damn hot,
Okay.
and sometimes it would just fuse and melt together. The plastic would melt.
Wow.
My dog's getting ready to bark at my wife because she's touching me.
I'm not hurting him.
It's okay, Nikita. It's okay.
Hey Betty, how are you?
It's
How
okay.
are you?
Good.
Hey, DeWitt,
I'm not hurting Daddy.
the abuse isn't that bad. I'm still here.
Exactly.
Jason isn't on his roll yet.
I'm not.
Well, I can only have 6 in, so
I could drop out. I gotta go eat dinner. So
Yeah.
Yep, I got to do the same thing.
It's using 16 gauge wire to each of the motors. What it's doing here.
That's good.
all right, guys. You guys
Take
have
care.
fun.
Thank you.
Take care, John.
Yep, I'm gonna watch your video whenever you put it out there, Mr. 3D Printing and Painting. And Matt, good luck to your channel. And
Thank you.
well, we got 2 Matts. Sorry.
Yeah, I changed my name on YouTube too, and Google. It's 3DHP now, not 3D Printing and Painting. I shortened it.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, whenever I do comments, it's 3DHP now.
Yeah,
Okay.
I saw it today.
Way to pay attention, John.
Nice job.
I'm all about transparency, Jason.
How was your sandwich I
Clearly.
made you? Huh?
What's that?
Vipers? Maybe.
Oh,
Next year.
okay. All right. We'll catch you
All
guys
right.
later.
Take
Take care,
care.
buddy.
Ordered it
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to jump off too, guys.
Oh,
Find
okay.
Something to eat.
Everybody's scared of
Take
Tim.
care, Mr. Jason.
Oh,
Tim
now
joins and
Tim's
everyone
comes
runs
on.
away.
Must have been
Well, that's
something
okay.
I said.
My B team is here now, down in the corner.
There you go.
Hey, Tim.
Hey, Tim, how you doing?
Good.
Oh, wait.
You guys see anything of Chewy?
I have. I only see him maybe once every week or two. Is all. He's
We
not
had
on
another
every
bald
week.
guy down below would be all balled up down below and people's hair up top.
Ha! Yeah.
Jason. No, Jason's got hair. I think.
Here, I can put
Yeah,
on glasses and I
there's
look
some
like
in
Tim. Look, I got a blue
Okay.
shirt on and glasses. I look like Tim now.
There you go.
Hey, no, we have
Oh,
now.
we have double gang
No.
Oh, no.
Now we have Dr. Zeus, Tim 1 and Tim 2.
You need a wire in front of your face.
Yeah, he's got
That
a
was
goatee.
scary.
He's got a blue shirt on. Anyway.
That was scary.
Let's
Boy.
have Tim 1 and Tim 2, like
I
the
need-
Dr. Zeus.
I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go use some eye bleach now. I gotta go, guys.
Okay.
I'll see you
How's it
guys.
going, Matt German? How you doing?
I appreciate it. Love it.
Matt, oh, wait a minute. Matt Germain. How you doing, Matt
Jermaine, Matt Jermaine,
go.
make me get it right.
Remain.
Gotta get it right. All right, I gotta hop off for a second. I gotta put the little one to bed, and if you guys are still on, I'll hop back.
Thank you
We'll
very
be
much
around
for the
about
stickers
15,
and
20
all.
more minutes, and then after that, we drop off at about 10.
Okay, sounds good, man.
All right.
Take care.
Yeah, thanks for joining.
Take it easy,
Yeah.
guys.
Ciao.
Wow, like
Alrighty then. I show up and everybody leaves, but it's been
I
a long
showered this morning.
2 hours, 38 minutes. So
If you want to join in, you're welcome. Nobody else, no one has met you before, so.
Otherwise, I'll feel bad.
who are we talking about?
John McGill.
John McGill. John McGill. The name sounds familiar.
He's seen him in chat with me, some of the hangouts, but he hasn't come onto
Okay.
the stream before.
He's
John's
probably-
in the he's into astronomy. He's in my astronomy club with me,
Okay.
and he's newly into 3D printing.
Awesome.
Cool.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. At the very top of the YouTube chat, you'll see a pinned link. So mute your Facebook or your YouTube, and at the very top of the chat, you'll see a link. Click on that link, and it will ask you for your name, and you do okay, and it'll bring you in here, and then I'll bring you onto the screen if you want to join. Yeah, John has he's got a JG Maker Magic and he's been printing a lot with it, and he has gone from 0 to about 100 in a space of this much time. So,
Wow,
so
great.
he's doing well.
Please add info about Jerry 3D HP. What info? Jerry 3D Printing and Painting on Facebook and YouTube, or 3D HP.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I'll
go ahead.
live stream on Saturdays and do videos. Liam usually does them on Wednesdays.
yeah. Jerry does them on Eastern time at 4 o'clock Eastern on Saturdays. He does hangouts, and I do them 7 p.m. Wednesday Eastern.
Then occasionally I have a special guest on. When that happens, it's usually during the week, whenever the guest can be on. So, anyway.
Yeah. So, George, just look up 3D HP. You'll find it. We're going to switch to your iPad, John. Okay. So, if you haven't been in the channel before, guys, please hit the subscribe button below. And also hit that thumbs up. It helps to with the YouTube algorithm about promoting the channel. So please do so. Everybody drives to try and get more and more subscribers, and also D-With3D right below me. He's got a good channel. He's actually doing a rat rig build. He's on stage 3 now.
Yeah.
And Jerry over here.
I think we're on video number 4 for this guy. Yeah.
Oh, this is number 4. Rat rig is a 500 by 500. And over here you have Jerry with 3D HP or 3D Printing and Painting. Look him up as well on YouTube. He's got a great channel. And Matt, the guy who's over here, is getting ready to probably start a channel pretty soon. So he hasn't got one yet, but he's working towards it.
I do have a group, Tactile 3D Pictures.
Yes, he has a Tactile 3D Pictures group because he does a lot of lithophanes.
Yes, he's excellent.
So,
thank you, guys.
I gotta get a better camera.
yeah, the rat rig is the big beast, the rat rig.
Let's see.
Hey, if these international times are taught of advertising times in UTC, so it's confusing. Well, US Eastern time is 5 hours behind the UK, so that's easy.
It's 6:41 p.m. here in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Yeah, that is in West Pacific time.
Yeah.
So for me, it's 9:45. In the PM in the US East.
Oh, you're 3 hours ahead of me?
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, you are on the opposite sides of the country. So
all right.
I almost have 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, we should make it 5 hours. Which is
You just woke up, or you haven't been to bed yet?
He doesn't sleep.
I do sleep. I did sleep in the car when we drove back, and I slept for an hour before I came to the show. So.
Well, he was sleeping in the car because of the stress of meeting the Outlaws.
Ah.
Yeah, just ring that bell to be notified when somebody goes live or posts a video, and usually YouTube will send you a notification. Usually.
Yeah, but I will. But if you follow me on Facebook, I always post it out there as well. So when I create these hangouts or any like when I'm doing unboxings or anything, I will always post them on Facebook. So I find Astropreneur on Facebook, and you can always find it there. Okay.
I post mine on Facebook group, Facebook page, and Twitter.
Yeah. Same here. So, what are you working on, Tim? You haven't been working on your rat rig.
No, I've been cheating.
Cheater!
No. There's going to be nothing extra built. There's a challenging part coming up, and I practiced.
Yeah, put it together, see how it goes together, take it back apart, do it live right.
It's basically to do with a bearing stack, and I found a way to do it like incredibly simple. So I'm hoping that because of the fact that I've come up with a method to do it flawlessly, that'll help somebody that's going to do it in the future. So
it's going to be flawless until Jason says, "Yeah, but that's upside down." 5 minutes later,
I beat him to it this time, where he was going to say, "Let me do it for 15 minutes and struggle." Then he'll say, "Do you want to know the easy way?" So, yeah,
that was funny actually. Everyone got a good giggle out of that one.
I got this cool little set of tools today. They were on sale, and I couldn't resist. They're I don't. It's a company.
Yeah, let me make you full screen. 1 second.
It's a really cool little set from where.
All right. It's got some socket sets and stuff.
Sockets and some hex keys and some regular drivers, and it's pretty cool. And it basically, the sockets themselves, you just push this little switch up, and then all the sockets pop out. Yeah, really neat. Anyways, I like tools, so.
Doesn't it?
See what John said?
Yeah, I thought we joined my streams to watch me suffer. Hey, not this time. And no blood this Sunday. I promised myself no blood, no bumped heads. It's gonna go smooth. Yeah.
You need to move the printer you need to put the printer on the floor. That way, then you don't have to climb ladders to build it.
I know. Like, I mean, if I had my my table that I was going to put it on permanently, I'd probably have switched my cameras over and done it over there. But I haven't got that table built yet. So.
Yeah. Because you're gonna have to when you're done, you're gonna have to lift this across.
Yeah, it's not. It's gonna take two people to lift it. There's no doubt about that. So, I'm gonna basically see if Jason will come up and help me carry it across.
When are you gonna do the stream on the belt printer? I remember you were gonna have Richard at one time. Did that get postponed, or you're just gonna jump in and do it, or what?
That's just postponed. He had some things going on over the summer and so forth, so that was postponed. It's still going to happen. I'm itching to get that printer built. And I'm itching to get my Atom Stack printer built as well. But
if you want someone to build the printer to you, you can always send it to me. I'll do it for you.
Okay. Hey, listen. Send me your address and send me $700 postage.
Posting's got ridiculous, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I haven't watched Richard and Brian in a while. I think they stream right before I come on Saturdays, and I think that's why I've been missing them.
They haven't been on in a while. They switched their Ask for Help stream to Thursdays, but they haven't been on. I spoke to Richard yesterday, actually, and they've been working on the little side gig here in town, and that's been taking up a lot of their time.
Okay.
But they're going to be starting their Thursday streams coming up pretty soon again now. So, yeah.
John, I don't know about iPads. I don't have a bad Apple, so I can't assist you.
Bad Apple.
Your chat should be somewhere on the screen. Somewhere there must be an icon on the desktop, somewhere to click. And I can email you the link. How about that? I'll send it to you in an email if you want to join. So let me get the invite link, and I'll send it to you on email.
Just copy and post it and drop it in chat. It's right there in front of me.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I can just copy, but he can't copy and paste out of there, can he?
No, yeah, he can click on it. Right in front of you down below.
With the iPad, you can.
Click and
Yeah, but he's not seeing chat. He's not seeing the chat, so it doesn't matter. So I'll just go and drop him an email. It'll take me a second.
He's not seeing chat. He's on a PC. He's got a screen.
No, he's not on a PC. He's on a bad Apple.
Oh.
So,
okay.
Just 1 second. John, I just sent it to your email address.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, that's a good question. How did he post if you can't see it in chat? I give up. You got it in your email address now, John. You have no excuses. So, we're only going to be on for another 10 or 11 minutes anyway. I'm drinking water. Yeah, I don't know what it is. He'll jump in for a few minutes just to say hi to everybody anyway. So, other than the rat rig, what else is going on there, Tim?
Not a whole lot. I'm just always trying to organize and clean up down here. I always seem to be creating a mess somehow. So,
yeah, I know the feeling.
Yeah, and I got to get to a point where I need to sell some printers, sell them or give them away. I've got way too many down here that aren't being used. It's a shame to not for them not to be used. I designed another. I don't know if you saw my little. Where's my close-up camera? my little.
I saw it on
zip tie holder.
I saw it on your Facebook and stuff, but
yeah.
I think you should sell them and not give them away. It helps to pay for your hobby, so you're not taking money out of your business.
That's what I'm thinking. I haven't, and there's sort of a finished one. I printed it in Galaxy Black Cruciment today. So these things are super strong. I've tested them. They're really hard to break. You got to put a decent VHB tape on them for them to hold. So, and then I just finished designing another one today. The one I designed today is going to sort of be like a double. So it'll be one double piece this long, so that if you have wires running up and down, you can
parallel. So actually, that's a good idea because it'll help you do cable management in the rat rig.
Yeah, well, exactly, and that's why I'm kind of doing this. And then, unlike the ones you buy in the store, I've added that little groove so you can rest your cables in it, so that they're not sitting above it so far. So yeah,
well, it's a good idea.
Quite happy with the way this has all turned out so far. So yeah, and it's given me a lot of practice in Fusion 360. So
yeah, Jim has that Phenom for sale for $500. What he paid, but it's got resin spilled all over it in the case. Don't know what kind of shape it's in. And then if you got to replace the screen, that's a lot of money. And then you got to pick it up locally. And I'm not in Michigan, so I don't have $500 laying
Jim
around.
who?
Edutech Jim.
He's not in Michigan.
Where is he? Illinois?
I'm not sure.
Indiana, Illinois, somewhere right in
Indiana, maybe, or something like that. Yeah, but he's. I know he's not in this area.
Okay.
But what was I going to say? Yeah, but John said he's going to donate printers. Donate them to schools or to clubs or to if you're going to do donations. Maybe if you have a maker set up in your area,
or donate them to somebody that actually uses them. Most school districts have plenty of money. The upper echelon are making their big old fat salaries and not putting the money where it goes. So the more you donate to schools like that, the more they don't have to buy.
He's in Wisconsin. That's where he is. He's in Wisconsin.
Michigan, Wisconsin, same thing.
A bit of a distance apart.
Both back there got big long names.
But offering to schools or clubs to make if there's a maker space in the area, they would use them. You know, they would use them heavily.
Look, he's falling. Don't talk loud. He's falling asleep.
Huh?
Your eyes are going.
Yeah, you're drifting off, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty much tired now, and I keep juggling around, going with my chair, so I keep awake. You know.
Why don't you just go sleep? It's okay.
Yeah, I know. I'm awake.
Where's Louise? Louise, can he have permission to go to sleep, please?
Yes, please let me sleep.
Oh, Michigan borders Wisconsin. Okay, so same place. All right, basically.
Okay. Maybe all the way up here somewhere, but okay. But the yeah. So, is business going good? Like
me?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad. We're
picking up. I hope.
Fall is usually our busy season at the full-time gig, and it's starting to pick up a little bit. We're starting to get some good orders in that are going to be produced next month. So,
excellent.
It's not bad at all. Yeah, I can't complain.
And besides your videos, Jerry, are you printing anything for yourself, like other than some models for videos?
No, this is stuff for the videos at the moment. I've done that water washable resin. I printed out a couple models, done the video on it. Then I've been tied up my son for a couple days. And then when I came home last night, I was just every bone in my body, my arms, my joints, everything was just killing me. So
how's that Kaiwu working out for you?
Kaiwu, I need to get another video done on the Kaiwu. I haven't printed anything on it in a little bit.
But how is it working out? Is it working out well? As
Seems to be okay. I just I got my Pi hooked up to it right now. My Pi 3 is hooked up to it. That way I don't have to mess with on-screen menu. But when I do have the Pi hooked up to it and I want to baby step the first layer, the menu is, I don't know. They don't have a baby stepping feature when I'm running it on a Pi. It's not acting like a regular bed, like Creality machine. When I run those off a Pi, I can still go up to the I got TH3D modified firmware on it, Marlin. I can go over and I click the button 3 times, and I can baby step really quick. It's not that simple on the Kaiwu when I run it off a Pi, and I got to figure out why. So
they might have a newer version of the firmware. I would check that.
Well, they had a newer version out with that really colorful icons, really cool, but a lot of the features weren't there. So I had to revert back to the prior firmware.
Oh, okay. So they updated it, but it didn't carry it.
They did a lot of pretty bells and whistles on pictures, but a lot of the stuff wasn't even in the menus. So I don't know. I have to wait to come out with a 3rd version and fix some bugs. But it seems to be a really nice little machine. I just have to work out some of the bugs on it.
John loves them.
Yeah.
John loves the Kaiwu machines. He has his 2nd one right now, and even if it's a really early beta, he still says it's rock solid in what it prints.
Well, I know they're coming out with an IDEX. Is that what he got for the 2nd one?
No, he didn't get the IDEX. He got a new smaller version.
It's like a mini one or something. Yeah.
So he's got a V2.
V2 still in beta.
But their IDEX they're announcing this week. And they're also working on and will be releasing soon a belt printer.
Oh wow!
So,
a belt printer is an interesting idea if you get, if it would print nice and you don't have to tweak everything and spend weeks trying to get it just right. But it's an interesting idea. Whenever they work out of it,
I've always said I would have no real need for a belt printer, but now doing Toys for Tots, it's the perfect solution for a belt printer.
Yeah, if the quality would be up to snuff like what you're already doing, if they could print that nice, sure.
Yeah,
keep running them off in a box, and then come back a week later, and you got a trash can full.
Yeah, the one he's got is a Tycoon Slim, is the one he's got, which is it's a new machine they're getting ready to release.
The one they sent me, I have the Max they sent me, but it was a customer return. But it was still a great deal because I didn't have to do much to it to fix it. But
yeah, but the
with the belt.
Yeah.
Belt printer wouldn't. Right now, it's basically form of rubber. What's on there, right?
No, it's nylon, I believe. I know the Pirelli one is a nylon-based one.
Kind of like a treadmill that you have in your house you run on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But without the rubbery surface, it's a different surface on the outside.
Why not make it like an escalator? Like out of metal.
Well, there are some belt printers out there that are kind of home designed that have metal belts, and there are others out there that are they're made like a Kapton tape style coatings on them. So they vary. There's pros and cons to each. A rubberized material would bond well with almost anything you put on there, but getting it off would be a problem, and it would leave some traces. The metal one would be good, but getting a bed adhesion would probably be tricky. But once you got it, it'd probably be easy to dump the part off at the end.
Like the mod they did for the Ender 3 works really good, where you tilt it at an angle and it knocks it off if every layer would bond properly. And then Loyal Modes, I think, done that on the Spruce and then he had it set up there. They were smacking it and it would knock the print off, set up in G-code.
Yeah, and if anything goes wrong with the print, it dumps it out, so you can just continue on with the next print.
Yeah.
And you don't have to use the same part like you can with a belt printer, because the Z apparently goes on forever. You can put on one part here, another part here, another part here. You can stagger them across the bed and just let them go and hit it on repeat. So it'll print 4 individual parts, then repeat and print the same 4 again, and repeat and repeat. It can do that kind of stuff. So there are benefits to it, especially in a production environment. And as I said, for the Toys for Tots, you could set it up and all you have to do is keep feeding it filament and you're done.
Yeah, as soon as I get this head for the laser, I need to get it put on and make a bunch of cool stuff. I'll tape me putting it on. That way, at some point, I can make that a video and then make a whole bunch of stuff and then do a video all about it and then go from there.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the output of that. That'd be cool.
So hopefully a little 5-watt. It's a nice looking little laser. It should have plenty of power. That little board should push it fine, I think.
It should be fine, yeah. But 5.5 is what it is, I believe. So you should, and just make sure you just, when you're doing something, think of dialing down the power, because right now you've been running everything at 80 and 100%.
Yeah.
You probably won't need that.
Yeah, I'm thinking just pretend it's an auteur when I'm doing burns. Like if I was to watch Jim's video or 3D Print Farm or something like that, how they done this or done that with settings, it'll probably be about the same thing. I'm still using Lightburn, and I've got basically the same laser head. So,
hey, Mike, how are you? You know, you came on just as we're about to wrap up. Perfect timing, Mike.
Close it down quickly.
We're just getting ready to wrap up because we've been on for 3 hours already.
Well, I'll say goodbye then, everybody. Thank you. I'm sorry,
All right, Jerry.
And I'll see you Saturday.
Jerry.
Hopefully. So,
see you, Jerry.
Take care.
All right, take care, Jerry. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. For those who hung out with us for the last 3 hours, thank you. Hope it was fun. For those who've been who are new to the channel, please like, subscribe, ding that bell to get notified. I do these every Wednesday, and I often do unboxings and so on on Saturday morning. So please like, subscribe, ding the bells, and you can come back and hang out with us more often. Everyone is welcome. And Tim, thank you for popping on, even though it was only for the last few minutes.
Yeah, I was just working late today, so.
Yeah, and I will see you on your stuff, probably on Jerry's channel on Saturday, and then on your rat rig build on Sunday.
Perfect.
And just check out D with 3D, and also check out 3D HP, which is Jerry's channel. And Matt, you can now go and fall asleep because you're fighting it.
No, I still have to be from.
You're sitting there going, I can do this. I can do it. And
maybe I should get like electro probes, to shock me. So
if you get a probe that can be connected remotely, I'll push the button.
Yeah. Why not? Hey, why not have a donation button?
Have a super chat button for that.
Press. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we can do it. We can do a donation button, and every time someone pays money, we can give them permission to push a button.
Give them an electric shock.
Yeah. EST for Matt, yeah? John, you're out there. I can see you says device is not connected. So, and we're about to wrap it up anyway. So next Wednesday, John, get on earlier, and we'll work out the kinks that whatever issues you're having. I can help you out with us to get you connected next week. Well, if you're sleeping, I can't do anything about that, Mike. All right, guys. Okay. We're saying goodbye to everybody. Have a good week and have a good night. And I will see you next Wednesday if I don't see you before then.
Take care, Liam.
Take care, guys. Remember, let me pop everybody out for a second. And remember, the wrong person's in the main chat. It should have been me. Trying to take my job, Matt.
Always.
So, guys, remember, like, subscribe, ding that bell. I'm on here every single Wednesday at 7 p.m. It's a rarity I miss it, but generally I don't. And remember the other guys who are on channel as well. Check out their channels. Really good content. And if you're not already subscribed, please do so. And I will see you next Wednesday, same time, same place. Okay, guys. Good night.